Oh, well, everybody know who I want next. I want Terrence Crawford next.
You're going to make that happen?
Huh?
You're going to make that happen?
Oh, definitely. That's the fight that I want. That's the fight everybody else want. Like I said, I'm going to get these straps that I'm going to go over there and take his shit too.
All right. Errol, congratulations. Terrific fight this evening.
Thank you, man. Now, strap season, I know what time it is, baby. Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt.
All right.
I'm not catching fades anymore. Gotta keep my hands clean when they come for the board. Keep it smooth like a dawn, making moves in the dark. Cause I learned how to swim in the pool full of sharks. Now they coaches, cause they can't read all his motions. How the kid never switched codes, but he code switch focus. Staring down your team with a frozen, ice cold look that could end the summer solstice. Cause I'm more like the top dog. Keep on running game and the gang will accost y'all. I be calling plays from a plane while I'm off court. But we ain't the same, you a lame, I'm a mob star. Actually, I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athletes. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pour strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, God vibes, I'm the kingpin. They know I'm a dog and a beast, man. Yeah, I keep the peace with a piece, man. I ain't got no time for a piece, man. Why would I respond to a pawn? I'm the... Hold up.
If I let my dogs off the leash, then you might want to get out of Dodge by the evening. Honestly, think it's not the blood and the beef. If they don't leave anything behind at the evening.
I can see you soft, ever thought about retreating. If you never have, then they'll give you a reason. Better watch your tone, lose your bass when you speaking. Underneath the mask is the wrath of a priest. When you learn how to smile in their face, then go cutthroat. Then they want to call you a con when the blood cold. I remember starving while y'all had a truckload. Now I'm with the mob with the call and the gusto. I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athletes. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pour strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, God vibes. I'm the kingpin.
You know, it's tough, man, watching all this stuff unfold, you know what I'm saying, with everybody got something to say about this fight, you know what I'm saying? Of course, Bud Crawford fans, you know what I'm saying, that they're elated, you know what I'm saying, in their victory with their favorite fighter. But, you know, in all of the mayhem that we're watching unfold, we got to look at what happened during this fight, because we can easily say that Bud Crawford went out there and did his thing. But something, and this is the other side of it, because, you know, now Bud Crawford got his credit. We got to go back and look at the fight. What happened? You know what I'm saying? And Shane Mosley said that, you know, there's people coming up with a lot of theories about Errol Spence Jr., you know what I'm saying, his brain, you know what I'm saying, not, you know what I'm saying, something about the car wreck and damaged his brain. He's been in decline. I don't know about all that. I don't know how I feel about all that. But Shane Mosley said that Errol Spence Jr. was weight drained. You know what I'm saying? And people are, you know what I'm saying, I've been looking at different content creators. I wasn't going to go live. I wanted to take a break because it was just, you know, already feeling in waves, you know what I'm saying, the heartbreak of your favorite fighter, you know what I'm saying, going out there and getting Falumaloom like that, you know what I'm saying, in that kind of way. We know that's not Errol Spence Jr. And that's not just some fanboy shit. That just come from watching boxing for years and years and years. And this man didn't just all of a sudden become a B-level fighter or a C-level fighter. That's what they're calling him because they want to Bud Crawford to win, and that was the performance that they were looking for. And then they're gonna preface it, saying Bud Crawford always prefacing something because he knows what kind of tactic he's gonna use, right? Saying Bud Crawford was gonna say you was weight drained, but isn't there some validity to that? Isn't there a lot of because but we know what Errol Spence Jr. If you watch all 39 of Bud Crawford fights, of the 40 fights now of Bud Crawford, and you watched all 29 of Errol Spence Jr. fight, and everybody knows that was not the Errol Spence Jr. that's what I'm saying we usually see. Now I'm not saying that's Bud Crawford's fault. What I'm saying? He was prepared. Plus the damage that Crawford was doing. Now we've seen Crawford punch other fighters, and we know those fighters are not better than Errol Spence Jr. They don't move like Errol Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? They're just not on that level, and Bud never did that to them, right? He never had that kind of power to mess you up with a jab like that in 1 or 2 rounds. Your face is busted up. Now, I got some photos that I wanted to look at, and I was just because I couldn't really look at the photos for a while. It took me a minute to image. And let me tell you something. Gloves don't do damage like that, bro. Let me show you something. Let me show y'all something. How busted up my man was. Check this out.
Almost looked like whatever they was trying to do, they overdid it.
Look at this. Gloves don't do that, bro. You see his face? I want y'all to take a look at this. Gloves don't do that right there, bro. This kind of reminds me of Deontay Wilder, bro. Look at my man face. This was like in 1 or 2 rounds he was looking like this. You know what I'm saying? Look how it looked like he getting hit with something, bro.
He was bleeding after the first round.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, look at EJ. Bud don't have this kind of power, bro. You know what I'm saying? Look at this man's face. Unfortunate. What's going on, lawyer to the game? I'm just like, I really didn't want to come on today, man, because I didn't want to do this. Go ahead.
Bro, I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that, man. I seen how Amir Khan looked after the fight, but I think the thing is, Bud. We all saw Bud put on a lot. He put on weight, bulked up. He had like no body fat. I think he was ready for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was ready for the moment, like he said, 120%. Because besides the power, if you go back and look at the highlights, I mean, this shit was just one sided. And Earl, my man, you look at my avatar, I'm Team Spence, and Earl, my guy. But I'm gonna give Bud Crawford all the flowers in the world for what he did. It was to me, it was a masterpiece. It was to me on the level of what Mayweather did to Diego Corrales, but actually even better because he knocked him down earlier. What I noticed, and I'm not look, Earl got in the ring and he fought, and Earl after his accident he beat 2 people. You know, none of those guys were big punchers. Let's just be honest. None of those guys were as accurate as Terrence Crawford. And as soon as I saw Earl go down the first time, and he got hit, but as soon as he went down the first time, the way his head shook when he went down the first time, something's off upstairs for Earl. Me personally, I'm just talking from my own point of view. Because I'm not going to rob Terrence Crawford from his moment. He deserved his flowers, and he in his moment. And I'm gonna give Terrence Crawford that. I don't want to.
You can't take it from him.
Yeah, take it from him. Me personally, I don't want to see Earl Spence fight no more. Me personally, and I'm just saying that from a concerned person because when I saw the way his head shook when he went down the first time, it's not even like he hit the canvas, but it's like his equilibrium's off. Also, my homeboy, his name is Ed Hamilton. He got a son he got a son. They call him EJ. He's been in the gym with Earl when Earl was back in the Blu-ray Earl days. He been in the gym with Bud. He picked Earl to stop Bud. He hadn't been around Earl since the accident. But he was teaching him. He trains his son. He was teaching his son the pads and the pad work that Derek was using on Earl. And this kid was winning national tournaments and stuff. Every time
Listen,
before a fight, when I talk to Ed, and I will ask Ed, I said, "How does Earl look to you?" Because he'll look at the workouts. He look at him hitting the pads. Ever since the accident, he say his pad work is sloppy. He has no balance. It's not the same. And I just believe
wait a
Earl
minute.
has
What he said he had no balance.
he had no balance. I seen it in the Danny Garcia fight. His balance was off. I mean, if you go break down, listen, if you go break down the film,
No, I seen him. I seen him like almost falling and shit to catch his balance in the Danny Garcia fight. But I just thought that's because he was rusty or whatever.
it could be seen as that if you took a long layoff, or nobody really know what they was going to get. But Errol Spence, I believe, have so much will. I believe he has so much will, and he's a man's man. Because look, he's already saying he wants the rematch already. Most guys, they disappear for a long time. They gotta get their ego together, all that stuff. Earl is a man's man. He wants the rematch already. But the truth is, none of us really know what the effects of that what he went through. But he beat two world class fighters, and Ugas and Danny Garcia, and if he beat them like that, we gotta give Bud his respect for how he did it, and the way Bud Crawford did what he did, and everybody know I'm the biggest EJ fan ever. It was a masterpiece. You win some, you lose some.
Yo,
It
Corey,
was a
you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, bro. Look, I'm real quick, bro. I'm in the doctor's office. I'm doing this physical, bro. But I had to come on, bro. Right now, I just came to your live. I just saw that you was live, but I was on Blue Blood live, right? I got to put this out here, bro. I'm arguing back and forth with Blue Blood, but this fight was big for both sides, Crawford and Spence. So both fan bases is going at each other necks about stuff that I'm in the middle of it and I'm confused. So Blue saying that a lot of people trying to discredit Crawford because something might be wrong with Spence, right? And I can your favorite fighter getting discredited in his biggest fight. What I'm trying to tell people, what y'all not realizing as a human, is that y'all might be looking at somebody that can really have a deteriorating condition with his brain because he went through windshield. But no, let me finish. Let me finish, brother, because I'm not gonna. I just heard you say that if Spence can do this to Ugas and he can do this to Danny, then it don't mean nothing and nothing wrong with him. A brain injury. Man, let me finish, bro. A brain injury is something that's progressive. Once your brain starts to deteriorate, it never gets better. It's progressive. Muhammad Ali didn't start shaking overnight. What I'm trying to tell y'all is we might be watching somebody that we knew was great slowly deteriorate. I keep telling y'all, if y'all watch Spence after he came back against Danny Garcia, he was slightly what we knew him to be, but even then he was off. His timing was off. His footwork was slower. His feet, Spence wasn't stepping. He wasn't stepping like he normally do. Spence was dragging his back leg. His legs have progressively got slower every fight since then, to the point where Spence hasn't bounced on his toes since Danny Garcia. He drags his feet everywhere now. Nobody paying attention to this. And I'm not saying this to say that Terrence Crawford not great. I got him as pound for pound number one. I find it hard to believe that anybody can beat him right now. That's how much I believe in Terrence Crawford at this point. What I'm trying to tell y'all is you're not a real Spence fan or a boxing fan if you won't even accept the fact that Spence might have a deteriorating brain condition and you pushing this man to get back in the ring where he might get killed right in front of you.
Yeah,
You're not a real Spence fan.
That's what I said. I said I don't even want to see a rematch because of that. That's exactly what I said.
Well, you know what it is, y'all, and we got to give everybody some grace because we're still kind of processing the loss. Okay, so no matter from what perspective, everybody come from, say it's coming from a place of passion. You see what I'm saying? This is beyond boxing. You know what I'm saying right now because Spence took such a devastating beating in the fight, and it's just kind of like. It's just kind of like, overbearing, right now. It's still raw for everybody. So everybody's trying to process and dissect what we saw. We saw Errol Spence Jr. who wasn't Errol Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? But they, that's not taken away from Crawford. We're talking about on the EJ side. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I mean, I'll tell you right now, fuck Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Because, that's how much I'm concerned about EJ. You know what I'm saying? He got the accolades. He got the win. I don't want to hear no more about the shit. Now I'm talking about EJ. So for motherfuckers out there who want us to just say Bud Crawford was great all day, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? This was an EJ channel. You know what I'm saying? This was an EJ fan channel. So if you don't understand that, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? What we're trying to do is see what the fuck happened with EJ. So, so all you people talking about excuses and all that shit, we can't take nothing from Bud Crawford. He won the fight. So if you don't understand that and you can't separate that in your mind, then that's your goddamn problem. So now when hold on, bro.
My bad.
So now I'm looking at, because at first I just kind of want y'all to see where I'm coming from. I think Crawford beat him. You know what I'm saying? I think Crawford beat him. I think Spence just wasn't ready, or Crawford might have just been the best. There's a lot of questions, but then I start seeing all this stuff about the brain injury. I just never taken into account, because it used to piss me off when people kept bringing up the car accident and he went out there and he whipped Danny Garcia ass. But I didn't look deeper to see if it was anything else going on, because he looked great against Ugas. So it's hard for me to believe, saying anything about a brain injury. Saying maybe, the mouthpiece thing. I don't know, bro. It's just looking at this fight for him to lose that badly, saying, have his reflexes just disappear overnight, his foot speed just to disappear overnight. I saw the punches coming, usually when a guy punch, it's faster than a second. EJ was terribly slow that night, and he just didn't lose it in a few rounds. This was from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? It's like he just, we didn't see the regular EJ. It was definitely something off, and I'm not saying this is Crawford problem or whatever, but we never seen Crawford with that kind of power. Now that's different too. We never seen him with that kind of power, bro. You know what I'm saying? He went in there like he was fucking middleweight or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe he just really got strong and pushed himself to the limit to get to those levels. But if you look at EJ in this fight, man, he did not look strong, bro. He did not look, he did not look like, I mean, at least you could go for 1 or 2 rounds looking strong. He didn't look strong in this fight at all, bro. And that's what I'm trying to get to. You know what I'm saying? Everybody think we're trying to take away from fuck Crawford. Stop that shit. What we're doing is talking about EJ and how he looked. I don't give a fuck about what y'all saying. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference with pool counter boxing. We gonna how the fuck EJ look like that, bro? You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you've been paying attention to both fighters fight, Crawford had the best performance we ever seen him have in a fight. EJ had the worst performance that we ever seen. And I'm just trying to figure out why was that? You know what I'm saying? Shane Mosley said he was weight drained. I don't know. I'm just trying to get a consensus from everybody to see what everybody's thinking. Because yesterday I got depressed as hell listening to everybody trying to frame the damn conversation as excuses. Like they trying to block you from goddamn even examining the shit. You know what I'm saying? Because if you examine the shit, then you're going to take credit from Bud Crawford. Well, I say fuck Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still here. Okay? So now we're going to talk about it. Okay? Go ahead.
So Pooh, I want to talk about what just happened, because I still rock with Blue, but me and Blue arguing back and forth on his live. He want me to come on his live tonight to finish the conversation, bro. It's like people so emotionally invested, they not listening to what I'm saying.
No, I hear what you're saying. I heard you when you first said it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I started thinking about it. As a matter of fact, when you first said it, I wasn't even thinking it from that side. I just had to. Then the other people jumped on what you were saying.
See, this is what I'm trying to tell people, bro. I don't claim to know everything. All I can do is tell you why I was so sensitive to the changes in Spence's style. Because I told y'all once before, I prefer outside fighters and slick boxers. Spence is the only pressure fighter that I ever liked in my whole life, period. Now I'm telling you, the reason I know something was off of Spence because since Danny Garcia, I haven't seen Spence fight from the outside once. I haven't seen Spence throw a counterpunch once. All this stuff is cognitive. Like you fighting on the outside, because what you have to do to be an outside fighter, you have to anticipate your opponent. It's not something that's instinctual. You have to be good at anticipating and reacting. That's why Spence was so good at it at first, because he had those reflexes and that analytical ability with his brain. Not since the Danny Garcia fight have I seen Spence throw one single counterpunch. Not one single counterpunch. Not one. Danny Garcia was the last fight. That was also the last fight where I saw Spence was cognitively trying to fight from the outside and take advantage of the opportunities where he could win from the outside. He didn't do that one time against Ugas. He didn't even attempt it against Terrence Crawford. That's because I don't even think he has the ability to do it no more. Nobody is paying attention to this. Another reason I'm so sensitive to it is because even though I still like Spence as a man and what he stands for, I am no longer entertained by his style. You know why I pull? Because he is no more than a Mexican fighter now. All he does is come forward now. I don't see that. I don't see the ability.
No, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I see, just because motherfuckers wanted Crawford to win, they don't give a fuck about none of that. But for us who wanted Spence to win, we watching everything. You know what I'm saying? We watching how the fight go. We just want, like when we saw Deontay Wilder get cracked upside the head and all of a sudden everything just went crazy. We know Tyson Fury don't have no power like that. He fought Otto Wilder and almost died fighting Otto Wilder. But when he come against Deontay Wilder, all of a sudden he got this power, out of nowhere. He just got power like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And Deontay Wilder just loses all his balance and shit and loses his shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
no, I was going to say before, I agree with everybody who feel like Spence was drained. Something was off for as like his conditioning, right? But more than one thing can be true at once. I'm not denying the fact that could be, that was probably, he was. I said he was small too. He was drained. Let me finish.
Even if you don't believe that, King Judah, I mean, you could look at the man, the way he was fighting. EJ don't fight like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? He don't fight like that. He don't fight. I mean, even if you go out on your shield, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna fight a certain way. You're gonna fight your style of fight. And the way he was fighting in there, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's like he wasn't coming behind the jab. You know what I'm saying? He didn't the speed wasn't there for him. Just go back and watch all his fights and watch the little things that he do in the ring. They wasn't there. You know what I'm saying?
Something off, bro. Like, why would a balanced fighter like Errol Spence, who can fight from the outside and inside,
get caught off balance with a jab? He's one of.
But I'm just saying that too. But even after that, we got two case studies and two fights that since that car accident, he don't even have the ability or the want to fight from the outside at all, unless something was wrong with him cognitively. That's the only thing. But being tired won't stop you from attempting to box. He hasn't attempted to box since Danny Garcia.
Well, this is what I'm saying. We know EJ is one of the most fundamentally sound as far as where his feet at, and the punches he was trying, he was all off balance every time. Every time. That's how he got knocked over with it the first time. He overextended himself, changing levels, and his feet wasn't up under him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have the speed to recover, you know what I'm saying, to recover his footing. And I was just like, I thought that was really strange because EJ takes small steps and calculated steps before he explodes. He used, like you said, seemed like his cognitive understanding was, he just wasn't himself. It wasn't as quick as it usually is. And even if you make a mistake like that, you're quick enough to recover, you know what I'm saying, not to get pushed over with a fucking jab, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it was something definitely off. And I know the Bud Crawford fan would say, it was just Bud, he was just that great. No, Bud was great. But EJ wasn't 100, I think. I don't think he was fully who he was supposed to be. Either that because he, you know what I'm saying, he didn't have the energy, or was cognitive, or was it because of the brain injury? I don't know, bro. I'm just like befuddled by how the distance and the separation in this fight, it's just
Well, I'm gonna go back to some like because bro, one thing about the way I analyze stuff that a lot of people don't see where I'm coming from because people don't have the memory I have. I can remember a lot of shit and tie it together later. Like a lot of people not looking at the clues, bro. Okay, the Spence got a detached retina in sparring. Now us as Spence fan, we was hoping that they didn't tie that to the car accident because if you remember, Pool, they was trying to get Spence to retire because they said, look, your car accident might have been more serious than we thought, and the doctor was trying to tell Spence they don't want him fighting no more at all. So it was all about Spence camp trying to prove to them that it happened in training and not in the car accident. You remember that?
Right.
So this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. What if it actually did happen in training? What if they didn't have to lie? What if Spence came out of that car accident, his eyes wasn't detached? What if because you remember that same training camp, if your memory serves you right like mine do, if you remember that same training camp, they were saying Spence was getting hit more than usual. And they thought it was because his retina was already detached. What if Spence was getting hit more than usual because he was already starting to deteriorate cognitively?
But let me tell you, let me turn you on to something that I always ignored when EJ said this in interviews. He said that he wasn't the same fighter. You know what I'm saying? He admitted to not being the same fighter and that Crawford should be the favorite in this fight because of all he's been through. And I know I didn't think much of that when he said it. I didn't really think much into it. I thought maybe he was just saying just because, you know what I'm saying, for what it is, you know, he's been in car accidents, he should be the favorite. And he said, I'm not the same fighter. And I'm wondering, did he really mean he ain't the same fighter? You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, EJ always keep it 100, even if it hurts him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He always keep it 100, even if it to that. And, you know, because the shit used to piss me off when people always kept bringing up that shit about the car crash, and he goes out there and he dominates Danny Garcia and he dominates Ugas, right, in the fashion that he did, and looked like the foot speed and the footwork was there. I saw what you was talking about, King Judah, about how his transition to offense to defense was just a little off because it looked like he was hesitating a little bit there on the transition and stuff. But I understood he was coming off an accident. He was still healing and everything, but he was still good enough to beat Danny Garcia. Right. So when he came out there and he looked full and strong against Ugas, I'm thinking to myself, okay, the old EJ is here. You know what I'm saying? This is 100% EJ, right? Clicking on all cylinders. He's ducking. He's getting back. You know what I'm saying? He's got strength. In this fight, I mean, if you was to watch all three of those fights right now, back to back, you know what I'm saying? They look like different fighters. He looked like a different fighter in this fight. And I know everybody want to say, oh, he's seen Bud Crawford and Bud Crawford made him do it like that. No, bro, this is like, if you're a boxing fan and you know how a fighter fights, yeah, you could tell if it's just a dominant performance. But EJ, he didn't have, you know, the jab. He didn't have the movement. He just was off, bro. He was just totally off. I mean, he was just like too slow. EJ ain't that slow. You know what I'm saying? EJ ain't as slow as he was in this fight. Let's get Jay in here. Mm-hmm.
What up, Paul? You know, it's weird. It's like it's almost like we can't make a fair assessment of this fight. Because it's just like you can't say anything with them like, oh no, don't take nothing away from Crawford. Like,
no, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. I don't care about that.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's like, let's be for real, y'all. Like, and I hate to say this, and I hate to be like this, but Terrence Crawford still haven't fought his top level opponents at their top level. He still didn't do that, y'all. Like, clearly Spence was not at his top level. And it seemed like nobody want to admit that. I'm not saying that even if Spence was 100, he would have won. I'm not saying that either. But I'm saying that Errol Spence didn't even put up a fight. He didn't even put up a fight.
Mm-hmm. I think it's dangerous where we at right now. This is my whole thing. This is why I'm trying to let everybody who can listen to me, because like I said, I ain't did a video in a long time. I can only get my point of view across on other platforms. I'm trying to get. I'm not arguing. Like, I'm a Spence fan, right? But I'm not, because I guess the argument that Spence fans is they want to say that, well, you know what, Spence was drained. He way better than Crawford. He was drained. That's the only reason he lost. When they fight again, Spence gonna do this and Spence gonna do that. I'm not there. And I'm also now, of course, I'm not on the Crawford side who's saying, hey, ain't nothing wrong with Spence. Crawford just whooped his ass. I'm right in the middle. I'm telling y'all that Crawford may very well be better than Spence. But I'm also telling y'all that I know something is wrong with Spence, and I don't think it's just that he weight drained and he may not need to get back in that ring with Crawford at all. That's why I'm in.
Wow. But what you were saying, Jay? Because I'm kind of like with you. I'm just like, I don't care about all the noise around the fight. I don't care about motherfuckers trying to chastise me for asking these questions, because this is my channel. That's why I created a channel, so I can do this. You know what I'm saying? If you wanna shut all that shit down and be the police of questions and shit like that, you go make your own fucking channel. And that's just how I feel about it. But I'm gonna talk about what the hell I want to talk about. That's why I made a fucking channel. So don't come in here talking about what I shouldn't be talking about. But I want to explore this. But I want to hear all thoughts on it, though. I am open-minded. If anybody know me, they know I'm open-minded about it. But my feelings are, looking at EJ, he just didn't look like the dude that we, you know, saying that he didn't have the things. It looked like he was the older fighter, and he looked like he was older. He looked like he ran out of steam, and looked like he was the one who didn't have the reflexes and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like it was just, you know, you just didn't recognize him. You know, he didn't look. Go ahead, bro.
I think about it like this: like I've been knowing all EJ fights, and I just gotta clearly say, man, that man was. You gotta think about it. He probably was already training last year when Bud jumped out of the
I could barely hear you, bro. You got like two things open here. Let me see. Let's shut down one and get you on the other one. Okay, I'm gonna kick. Let me see. Let me kick one out. Okay, then we get you on the other one. Okay, there you go.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's way better. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Like Bud jumped out of the negotiations. You gotta think EJ is already in training.
Keep himself in training.
You kind of going back and forth, in and out of something. Okay. What's going on, Scooby? Dave, Scooby? I don't want to put your government name out there. What's going on, Scooby? You there? What's going on, Steve-O?
What's good, Paul?
What's good? Yeah, I'm trying to explore the other side here, man, because you know, my man, he didn't look like EJ, bro. You know, I didn't even watch his walkout and all that shit, and him throwing hands, because I was still driving. I was still trying to make it in. And when you watch all that shit, it was just some strange shit going on, and how weak he was looking, bro, in there.
So, can I ask you a question, Paul? I just want to know, because like I said, I talked to a couple of people about this. I told you, me and Blue going back and forth. I'm trying to figure out how everybody's seeing this. And me and you usually see stuff the same. I just want to ask you a simple question. Do you believe that a brain injury that Spence may have suffered, I ain't saying he did, he may have suffered, do you believe that it can get progressively worse? What I mean by that is, do you believe that it can get
No, I believe that.
So you do acknowledge the fact that he can fight Danny Garcia, look good, fight Ugas, look decent, but he lost one aspect of his game, then fight Bud Crawford and look like he lost everything. You do believe that's possible from progressive brain damage?
Yeah,
but not
I mean,
not the way he looked though. Not
you gotta think he been going to routine.
Let me say this to Jay. Jay, if you look at them last three fights I just told you about, because you know he only had 3 since the accident. When he came back against Danny, he had everything that he had before. It had just got slowed down by a millisecond. Now that could have been due to a layoff, for all we know. He was slowed down by a millisecond, but his footwork was still there. Fighting from the outside was still there. His counterpunching was still there. You fast forward a couple months to Ugas, he lost the ability to box from the outside altogether. He came forward the whole fight. His feet was dragging. He didn't bounce one time. He drug his feet around the ring the whole time. By the time you fast forward to Terrence Crawford, he had lost the ability to box from the outside, move his feet, or throw a counterpunch.
Yeah, but Ugas ain't that type of fighter where you got to really bounce around.
But let me ask y'all a question. So that means he was getting smashed in training.
I just think that he already had progressive brain damage and he kept getting hit in the head because he's a boxer. Why we can't understand that he's a boxer?
Yeah,
No,
but you gotta think,
I
yo,
think
he
No,
was
I
going to
understand
doctors.
that, but why wasn't this recognized up in training? So either they knew and they did it
I
anyway,
think they knew.
or
I think.
it
Let me tell
just
you something.
came
I
out.
think they knew. I think the whole camp knows something wrong with Spence, but they gonna ride with him no matter what, and he don't quit. He gonna try regardless, and they behind him. That's what I'm
well
trying to tell y'all.
they said something about Jamel Charlo went to the locker room and he came out upset when he talked to Spence. And there's another layer here that you know what I'm saying that the boxing fans are not privy to.
I
You
just
know
don't
what I'm
That's what I'm
saying?
understand why
saying. So
nobody
And
don't
like
think this man is going to doctors and getting checked before fight. Like, I think he
bro,
looked better in the Ugas fight than the Danny fight.
bro, no, he did not, bro. He was one dimensional against Ugas. He did not look better than
That's
he
all
did
you have
against
to
Andy
do
Garcia.
against Ugas.
It
I
don't matter.
mean,
He didn't look better. You can't say he looked better. He
he
didn't.
looked way better than the Danny
No, he
fight.
didn't. He looked stronger. He looked like he had more power. That's it.
I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. You know what I'm saying? But I just think he was weight drained. I think all that time waiting on Bud drug negotiations out, ducked out of the fight, Spence stayed in the gym, and he pushed himself to the limit this training camp. And I think he was weight drained. As far as the stuff you saying about the mental, yeah, I believe that, but I also believe like you got to think this man was going to get checked, get his brain checked before each fight. You don't believe so?
No, that's what I'm trying to tell, bro.
I
Y'all, let
think
me tell
the
y'all the way
dehydration
y'all
was
not listening to what I'm trying to
definitely
tell y'all.
what he
I'm
had
trying to tell
going
y'all what
on.
may be going
see,
on more dangerous.
hold on. So what he's saying is that you know, like Muhammad Ali, you know, say he won the fight against George Foreman. I mean, George Foreman gave him a lot of damage, but then that next fight, you know, what I'm saying because of his brain damage, because his cerebral palsy stopped kicking in and stopped progressing over time. He was still able to win fights, but he was deteriorating the whole time. So
Yeah, I agree
that's
with
what
that.
he's saying. That's what he's saying. You know what
Yeah, I
I'm
agree
saying?
with that.
And like that,
But
one
but
more thing, let
but
me ask
what
that.
but what I'm saying is it was just hard for me to see that you know because of the way he performed, and I was looking at the little things, you know what I'm saying that was happening. That all that time out the fucking ring, bro, I believe
Yeah,
hurt him
bro, I
too.
think that played a big part.
Let me play devil's advocate here. Do anybody believe that the layoff was because they knew that Spence, this was the cash out fight, this was the golden goose fight, everybody know that. But was the layoff more PBC didn't have the money, or they knew that Spence wasn't in shape, or or fighting up to the level that he was fighting? They see the sparring, they know what's going on. They, like you
I
say, they
don't
know the
know,
What did
man.
tempo.
y'all
It's
think?
just
Did
Well,
y'all
so
you got
see?
to
much
think
time went
half of the
by.
layoff was due to him waiting on Bud.
No,
But
no,
listen, did
no.
y'all see? Did y'all see Spence? Did y'all see? You know how everybody was saying before the fight, Spence didn't look good in the dressing room. He looked spacey. Some
Yeah,
people say he looked puffy. When I went back to rewatch Spence talking to that woman before the interview, it looked like his lip was already bust, or
I
he,
heard somebody say that too.
or
His
healing
bottom
from
lip was
being
already
bust.
busted.
It looked like
I
his
don't
lip was
know.
healing from being bust already.
I
What
mean,
y'all
Even
not
I'm
Mike
just
realizing is
Tyson.
that what y'all and
I'm
see, let
just
me tell
trying.
you, let me say this right quick, real quick. What a lot of people thinking is y'all looking at me like King Judah. You not no doctor. You don't know what they doing. If he couldn't fight, they wouldn't clear him. Y'all don't know what's going on and who got paid to clear Spence to fight because Spence want to fight and his team behind him 100%.
Well,
Yeah, that's possible.
I understand he want this $30 million. You know, what I'm saying because he never made that kind of money. You know what I'm saying? So he had to fight this fight to secure the legacy for his family. If he was deteriorating, you definitely want to get in there and make the most money that you can if you're not going to be able to perform at this level in your next fight. So I understand if he took it, you know, for if that what was going on. And I'm just trying to we just finally getting here to ask these questions. You know what I'm saying? Did it look like Errol Spence Jr. was deteriorating? You know what I'm saying? Because they don't fight enough for you to like really can tell.
He
You know what
looked
I'm saying? When
small
you
in the weigh-ins, but his eyes didn't look like that until the fight nights. Personally, to me, his eyes
you
look
know,
totally different on fight night.
fighters in the past they fought often enough so you can kind of tell if they deteriorate or not. But these fighters fight so damn. They don't fight enough, bro. You see them 1 year, then goddamn 2 years, almost 2 years later, you get to see them again. So it's hard to tell if they're deteriorating or not, bro. It's just frustrating, bro, because now you just got to accept it is what it is because, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's to me, he didn't look like the same dude, bro. He just looked like a different boxer. He looked like he was out his depth. He looked like, you know what I'm saying? He didn't have the same abilities that he used to have. He looked like the older fighter, like a fighter that get old overnight. That's what he looked like. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he looked like the dude that was 40 years old in the ring. That's what he looked like, and that's how I knew something was wrong.
But they
Because
say that weight drain stuff affect your mind too.
I believe it. I mean, I believe it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't know which part it is. I just know his performance wasn't, you know what I'm saying, up to this level that it usually is. You know what I'm saying? You know, you never see EJ back down from anybody or back up from anybody, even if he's getting knocked down. He'll take the punch. He'll take the punch. You know what I'm saying? He go through punches. We didn't see that, Spence.
Who the have we seen him fight with the punching power of Bud, let's say, of that same night?
But
Who
let me
have
ask
we
you this.
seen Bud fight with that punching power?
Right.
Exactly. That's what I was about
But
to
that
say.
Spence we saw, but that Spence we saw would have got
We
beat
can't
by
answer that
everybody at
question with a
147,
question,
bro.
though.
He would have got beat by everybody at 147. The Spence that we just saw would have lost to everybody at 147, bro. I'm not taking away from Crawford. I'm not saying Spence is trash. I'm being real with y'all. Nobody want to be real. That Spence who didn't have no power, couldn't dodge no punches.
He didn't have no power.
He would have got beat by everybody. Everybody.
I looked at it like this: like Ugas rocked him harder than that jab Bud hit him with, and he didn't even go down. Like Saddam knew something on right then when they.
But look at the knockdown power Bud Crawford had in that fight. I mean, he looked like a totally. Look at the knockdown power. Everybody talking about he's a power punch. He never did that in any other fights. You know what I'm saying? He would catch you with a surprise shot that you didn't see, and it was powerful, but it wasn't like this.
Right.
It wasn't like he was Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't haymaker Spence took, and for a jab to just drop you.
I mean, it's like use your common sense and stop trying to goddamn just give Bud Crawford all the fucking glory. Just use your common sense. You know what I'm saying?
Sense, you can't give him all the glory because that was not 100% Spence.
I'm just saying, you know, they just want you to ignore all. You know, if a motherfucker got TKOs and shit, you know what I'm saying, his whole career, and it was through combinations and all this shit, and then all of a sudden he come in and he's just Mike Tyson in the motherfucker from the beginning. Right? Come on, man, get out of here, bro.
My thing is, when have you ever seen Bud have somebody bloody like that, drop him like that?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But they don't care because they want the victories. That's why I say fuck them fans, and we're gonna talk about what we want to talk about.
The crazy part about it is we giving them a victory. Everybody I heard you as a Spence fan, they say first and foremost is look, you gotta give Bud his credit. It ain't his fault, but at the same time, Spence didn't look right.
No. Let me jump in, Paul. Because we know I ain't jumped off no fence. I ain't changed my stance and been a blue blood. I've been the whole time. It's no giving of the credit. The credit got took. He took the credit by whooping his ass.
Yeah, but we're not talking about that.
Way around,
we're not talking about that.
I'm stirring the pot now. I'm stirring it up. If it had been the other way around, the credit would have to been given. Spence is Iron Man. He's everything that, you know, you guys been saying in the Super Friends cave. But we can't measure what he did versus Ugas, which was like 400 days ago, versus what he did. He's 450 days older, and he hasn't fought in that time versus somebody under the lights.
Bro,
that affects everybody.
I don't know why you can't stay on, bro. You know what I'm saying? I keep clicking you in. Go ahead, Steve.
But I'm saying that affects everyone. You know, we have to put into effect that his team failed him in not making him take a tune-up fight. You can't say you don't take tune-ups. Paul, you know, I said when he said that, I was like, that's bullshit. You want to take a tune-up. This is exactly what it is. You can't put no race card on that track without a tune-up. That bad boy gonna say it's gonna do what he did that night. You cannot jump in the ring with somebody of that caliber and not have your skills all the way to where they need to be. Your knives got to be sharpened. You can't come out there with no dull sword if you're a samurai. You got to be wooded. That Abenesian fight, although it was laughed at, although it was who is he, what is, how he say his name, I promise you paid dividends in the training camp, the lead up to the fight. He probably didn't even see Abenesian. He probably saw Spence the whole time, like, hey, I got to do the same thing. Got to get the same amount of miles in. That was what 6 months ago, 7 months ago, and that's still a long time for a fighter. Like
I agree.
we have to put into account that his team failed him in saying, hey, you maybe not Keith Thurman. We know he hate Keith Thurman. Put him in there against Boo Boo the Fool. Not Boo Boo Andre, but Boo Boo. But you know what I mean. Put him
Yeah.
in there with somebody and let him
Just so he
sharpen up
stay
his skills.
active. You know, I mean, Crawford, he went in, he got his tune in up with
Yeah.
David Avenese.
That's a part of the fight
Yeah.
game. That's why Ali had the bomb of the month club. He wasn't fighting this. He wasn't fighting Joe Frazier every time. He was fighting somebody from buttfuck Minnesota, and you know he was tuning up his skills, getting ready for the big fight. He would fight somebody that was a body puncher. Bing, bing. Okay, and he'll be ready for that. And all of that we got to start taking into account. I mean,
that's why I say lack
the
of
fight
ring
game.
time, and he was weight training. But they did try to get him a tune-up. He didn't want one.
That he got to take that strike.
And maybe he didn't want to take a tune-up because he might have deteriorated even further. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he didn't want to take a tune-up because he might have it might have hurt something else that might have been going. I mean, it's just so many questions that you want to really dig. I wish I could just go down there and ask Errol Spence, was he
I know. I've been wishing somebody catch him in an interview or something.
I wonder if he would be that candid. You know what I'm saying with me?
Not
if I
right
asked
now. You know, it's gonna take him a while.
Hey, Paul, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
All right, this is Zach.
What's going on, Zach B in the building? What's going on, bro? Salute to you, bro.
What's happening with all y'all?
Nothing much.
I want to say this, right? I've been watching Errol Spence like all of us for years.
Paul, let me up, bro. Let me up.
I don't know who the fuck that was in their fight.
Well, hold on. Let me drop the link. Who is that screaming? Like, God, hold on. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah.
What you saying?
And like, I ain't gonna lie, that shit hurt me to my heart. Because Errol looked like he was a baby in it, like he was a toddler trying to figure out a way. I ain't gonna lie, that shit hurt me. And I'm glad that your channel was asking questions instead of making assumptions about the man. Because you got channels going on literally saying that the man was high, the man got brain damage, you know, which it could be. But what I'm saying is, until we know some facts, like we're not going down the champ. Like if we as true fans, we're going to stay as true fans. But I think the whole thing was a recipe for disaster. I think literally him being off all that time, I think Errol is like how would you say? He a boxer, so he has a certain bit of arrogance. So I don't think he feel like he got to. Yeah, he don't have to put his all in to beat them. He even said 50% of me could beat all these guys. And also, like I truly believe. I don't want to say he punchy, but Errol done suffered some shit because that ain't Errol. Like Errol couldn't even duck a fucking punch in there, bro. Like Errol literally got hit with every goddamn punch that Bud threw.
60%, bro. That was a money grab.
And on the flip side, Bud looked like a fucking superhero in it. I ain't never seen Bud look that good. And I'm giving Bud his props because Bud got man, he showed his ass. But I ain't never seen Bud touch a motherfucker with a jab and they fall.
But when you play basketball versus a little kid, you gonna look like Michael Jordan too.
Well, no, this is the thing. What I said is like I used to shoot pool, right? And I used to shoot pool like I used to shoot it for money. And what had happened,
hold on. Anybody know who Lord Scotty is?
No, I ain't never heard of that.
No.
Hey, keep me in, bro. Keep me in, man. Okay. Let me say my piece, man. Keep me in.
Pool real quick, and then I'm gonna go. I used to shoot pool for money, right? And I took off about a year because I'm feeling I'm the shit. And I came back and the same motherfuckers was beating me that I used to wash. And it wasn't because they got no better, it's because I got fucking worse. So I mean, I'm just saying, if Earl gonna come back, I just want the champ to get in there and just take this shit balls to the walls until he retire. Because if not, I don't want to see him hurt. I don't want to see that man in the hospital and his family looking around like this man is fucked up.
Thanks.
Yeah, that
You
was hard
know,
to
All right,
watch,
y'all.
man.
Y'all, the panel is full, so you know what I'm saying.
bro,
So
that
people trying. Go ahead. Go
that
ahead.
shit was hard. Literally, that shit hurt me to my heart, man.
Right.
Let me segue for this, Paul, because since we discussing,
Let
this
me go next.
everything,
Let me go next
do you
after you.
guys and gals on the panel feel that Derrick James should have stopped that fight? Like I felt like round 7, that shit should have been over.
Uh-huh.
That's me personally, because I
That
always
fight
say
was
I'm a
good.
fan of boxing, and I don't want to see nobody in there getting a beating like that. That was a beating,
Right.
and he
Right.
could have stopped that at any time, and he didn't. The referee had to. I mean, give the props to that referee for doing his job, because Spence is a warrior. He would have got up. I felt like the whole night he wouldn't have laid down. That shows how much he's a warrior. That's why I always give all the boxers that respect, because his family gonna have to deal with him being different, and his mother was there, his father was there, seeing him get beat like that. But as a trainer, I felt like round 7, I saw enough myself. I saw enough.
Right.
No, I was yelling at the TV.
I
I'm like,
agree
man,
with you.
stop the
I just
goddamn
want to say
fight,
this.
Oh,
man.
that's
This shit over.
being
I want
okay.
to
I
bring
see
He
what
something
you
caught
else
that
mean.
up
That's your
uppercut
move.
off the
Oh, my
ropes. I
bad.
was like, that's it, man. Come on.
Hey,
So
Oh,
Paul,
No.
okay. I was blocking Ben. Oh, okay. My bad, Ben. I
hey,
recognize you now.
yeah,
hey,
Paul, I
look.
want to ask you a question. You remember when I brought up, I told you I remember everything, bro. And later on, when the facts present themselves, I'm able to put pieces together from what I heard. Do you not remember Errol tweeting recently? Tweeted that
Excuse me,
he
my
said, I'm a
bad. Real
man.
quick, where's
He
your
said
Remy
he
Mark?
said he said I was a man.
I'm
He said
sorry.
I'm a man. I
I'm
was
on that
raised.
phone. That's why I was saying that. I'm sorry.
He said I was raised as a
Remy,
man, and where
where's
I'm
your Remy?
from, we don't make excuses. He said that
No,
even
no.
if I had
I
one, I
like you.
wouldn't give it to you. Do you remember that, fool?
Yeah, I remember that.
So my
Hey,
point to y'all is, bro, y'all if y'all know EJ like y'all said y'all know EJ, he was just telling us there's something not right with him, but he not gonna admit it.
No, no, I'm gonna get this. I was just trying to see the
can
price of the
y'all hear me?
1738, the big one.
Hey, can you hear me?
Let's get
Yes,
let's
sir.
get Lord Scotty in. What you want to say, Lord Scotty?
Hey, just give my quick piece out, man. I think EJ he's a hell of a fighter, man. But you gotta understand, like you said, he been off 400 and something days. So even though
863,
we may think and believe,
509,
Hey,
17.
he's
y'all mute yourself so my man can cook.
good looking out, man. Let me cook. So look, he an excellent fighter, right? But he been on 400 days. So as much as we wanted him to perform, it's just like a basketball player, just like a football player. He's an athlete, man. Anybody that sit out of anything for 400 days, they're not gonna come back and have the same footwork. They're not gonna come back and have the same first step. So to be honest, with Bud having that tune up and sparring 50 rounds a day, he just had more of a step than him, man. And Earl never had the very best footwork. Let's just be real. He a come forward fighter. So when you say he got knocked out by a jab, he really didn't. Bud came out southpaw. We all
Hello,
know
you
usually when
cooking?
Bud knocked welterweights
Hello,
out, that's when he switches to
go ahead,
southpaw. He
Ed.
came out southpaw. So he had a
One, two,
game
one,
plan.
two. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can hear you.
yeah.
Hey, check this out right here, dude. Hey, first off, Crawford won the fight fair and
Let
square.
me cook though. Let me finish my
Hold up, hold up,
statement.
hold up, hold up, hold up, man. You just cooked for like 3 minutes. Let me speak.
That was 30
First
seconds,
off,
my man. Come
first
on.
off, first off, dude. We give Crawford credit for winning the fight.
But look here, man. I don't want to hear no more about giving fucking Crawford credit for the fight. We already done that shit.
Yeah, we
Now
already gave
I'm
Crawford
about to
credit.
get fucking pissed with everybody with that bullshit. We done gave credit is fucking credit.
Hey,
Fuck
Paul, my
Crawford.
thing is, how much
Here
credit
you go.
can you give him
Let
if he got that fight like that?
Say, man,
hold
let
on.
me
Let
let
dog
me
finish
finish
cooking.
let me finish
Let
my
dog
thought,
finish
man.
cooking. I don't want to hear that shit no more.
Look here.
Okay, we done gave him his
Basically,
credit.
what I'm saying is this right here. I'm not taking nothing from Crawford, so don't get up here trying to protect Crawford, man, or trying to protect his victory. He
We
won
ain't
the
trying to
damn
protect
I
fight.
am.
Crawford, man. What we
He
saying
won.
is
God damn it, let me cook, my nigga. You
it.
can cook after I cook. Let me goddamn speak.
Go
Nah,
ahead,
man.
my
You
brother.
cook
You never
after
let me
I
finish.
speak. You can speak, dog. I'm gonna let you speak. I ain't gonna say nothing. Let me speak.
Go ahead and cook. Go ahead and cook.
All right. So okay, he won the fight. Okay. But
going in and out, dog.
you're not gonna tell me, dude.
Dog, you
That
you
nigga
you
look
can't.
worse
Nobody
than
can hear you,
David
bro.
Avenesia. He looked worse than David Avenesia,
Nobody
man.
heard nothing you said. Nobody heard nothing you said. You went out.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Look here. Nope, nigga, EJ looked worse than David Avenesia looked. He looked worse than Sean Porter looked. We have never seen this dude look that bad before. And if you're gonna sit up here, hey, if you feel good about Crawford beating that version of Terrence about Errol Spence Jr., then take the victory and run with it. Because the people that have been watching both of these fighters, we know something was wrong, dog. And you can't tell us no different. And that's all I had to say
I don't
about it.
think nobody arguing that point, my man. I don't think nobody arguing that point. Everybody in this chat and in the room knows there was something up with Spence. But what I'm speaking to is he was off 400 days, right? You
Mm-hmm.
got a guy that had a tune-up fight. They say that Bud is sparring 50 rounds a day, something crazy. And you've seen he had some of these real big heavyweights, light heavyweights in there that he's sparring. So when he came in for Spence, he came in 100% ready. Spence came in 50% ready. So yeah, maybe something went right with him, but at the same extent, him going up in weight is not the problem. It's not that he was weight drained. Spence looked good, man. He had a nutrition and everything. He looked good. The problem was he wasn't ready, man. He needed tune-ups, and that was Derek James's fault by allowing his fighter not to take a tune-up. Derek James's fault for allowing his fighter to go that long and not stopping the fight. It made EJ look worse. He should have stopped
But
the
you,
fight in the sixth or
but
seventh
let me
round.
tell you this, Lord Scotty. I don't think Derek James got that kind of power. The other day I was talking about the arrogance of Errol Spence Jr. I don't think Derek James even dipped into that. He just let EJ, handle that part, who he's going to fight, when he's going to fight. I don't think he even have that kind of say. Um, Lord Scotty,
You
he
might
just
be
say
right.
he just trained. He just trained. You know what I'm saying? Because anytime anybody asks him, okay, who y'all gonna fight? I don't handle that part of it. All I do is train. So I don't even think he let Derek James do all that shit. He do what he want to do. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I think that kind of his arrogance just kind of like, it caught up with him
It,
from the
it
time he
gets him.
didn't do any the time he didn't do any strength and conditioning fighting Mikey Garcia and Sean Porter. That showed me right there that he could make the mistake of arrogance and hubris in the ring. And once again, it caught up with him right here. Not taking a tune up, not taking tune ups against Danny Garcia. That was stupid. You know what I'm saying? What if Danny Garcia would have been ready? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I just think he just got outmaneuvered by an athlete who really looked at EJ as his biggest test. And like you said, if he was sparring 50 rounds a day, that's incredible. That's incredible. He really
Man, that
took
nigga was
it.
sparring no 50 rounds a day. Get out of here, man.
Hell, he
Well,
looked
That's
Get
that's
out of
not
here, man.
unlikely. That's not unlikely. Most fighters fight
You
20 to
made that
30
shit
rounds a
up,
day.
nigga.
well,
Nigga made
even
that shit
even
up.
even if it's an exaggeration, bro, this is the problem with
That's
niggas.
not
He
unlikely
the
though.
the
That's not
motherfucker
unlikely.
went over and beyond. Let's say that.
he should have said 47 or something.
It
Hey,
was about
No,
45 at least now.
what the
He
But
said I
point
hey,
is,
sparred
the
50
point is he
rounds,
went
nigga.
over and
Nigga,
beyond.
50
He was.
rounds, nigga. Nigga, that sound
but
like a
okay.
BK, nigga. 50 rounds,
What's
nigga.
going on? Let's get some new folks, some new voices up in here. Let's
All
get
right, I
Mr.
appreciate you,
Moet.
man. I'm out, man. Y'all hold it down.
All right, let's get Mr. Moet in here. That's my man right there. And then we'll get Ed Rock
Get your 50
up in
round
here.
hey,
ass up
what's
out of
up,
here, nigga.
Pool Counter? And
What's going
what's up?
on?
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all. Pool, first, I want to say thank you for allowing us to have this platform because it mean a lot to get our shit off and cook because it's a lot of good thoughts, man. I appreciate that. And salute to the panel. Y'all, I'm going to be 90 seconds. And I just want to share some dates with you all. And the gentleman who just connected, he made a good point. Earl last fought Ugas. That was April 16th, 2022. That news flash came out on September 15th, 2022, that he and Crawford was going to fight in November. That's when that, started being rumored.
Right.
And we saw after the Ugas fight, Earl stayed in the gym. And that's why we were all excited because we saying, man, Earl looked good. And where he didn't look good, as long as he stays active and working out, he gonna be ready. But at that point, I think as things started to fall off with the negotiations, Earl
Mm-hmm.
just stopped. Crawford fought on December the 10th, 2022. Okay. On December the 28th, 2022, and I took a screenshot from Earl's IG. He reposted a photo from his girl. They was on the beach. Earl had a gut. I'm telling you all, and that's why I screenshot it because I
Mm-hmm.
said, "Man, what in the world?" You know, I was, I
Keep
was.
going.
So we
You there,
keep
Mr.
going.
Moet?
Yeah. So you go into 2023 and you look at Terrence Crawford and you say, "Well, Crawford fought on December 28th,
Oh, wait a minute.
2022, and he helped Shakur Stevenson prepare for his fight in April of 2023. He helped Keyshawn prepare for his fight in April, and he helped Keyshawn prepare for his fight in July this year. So Crawford has been in shape, condition the whole time since last year. I don't think Earl really started getting in shape until probably March or April this year. And I feel like his body just gave up on him. And the last thing I'll say is 3 weeks before the fight, and I don't know if anybody remembers me mentioning this on the panel. I said, man, Earl don't look cut up like he usually be. But you know, some of the thoughts was, well, maybe he's lean, he's getting a little bit leaner, you know, got a nutritionist and with Sanders Fit training. Man, I just think Earl did too. It just was all too late, and the result of the fight was already determined based off the amount of work that was put in advance compared to Crawford, who exceeded that. That's my thought, gentlemen. Thank you all.
Mm-hmm. Could be. Mr. Rock.
Hey, how you gentlemen? Good day.
Pretty
Peace,
good. Pretty good.
prosperity, health. I feel like you, Paul. This is my first time ever doing this, so forgive me.
Oh, that's okay. You're doing great, bro. You're doing great.
And I watched this fight, and I just was in
Man, they were trash.
I was in astonishment of what I saw. Because from what I saw previously from Crawford and what I saw that night with Spence and what I've known Spence to be, I've never seen a performance like that. And I don't think what Crawford presented something that Spence couldn't diagnose. So I had to wonder, as you all wondered, why was he not diagnosing and making adjustments? Nobody in the chat was why he got in the ring. That set me off. I was like, well, why did that doctor jump in the ring like that? I don't know if a lot of people caught that. He
No, I
didn't
saw it.
he didn't use the pin light. That was early in the fight. Why did he get in the ring? It makes me think somebody knew Errol had something going on prior to getting in the ring, but Errol wanted to get in the ring, and he got the clearance to get in the ring. He's a warrior, and I didn't want him to get beaten like that. I wanted him to fight hard and give. If he lost at his best, and I don't think we got the best of Errol. We got a
Mm-hmm.
show of Errol, from my opinion, from what I saw this man do in the ring. His Danny Garcia performance, I watched that. He
Mm-hmm.
was good in that. But then if you look at the very end, and I don't know why Danny didn't turn it up like he did at the very end, but he started winging punches. And I'm not saying he would have did some damage, but he was stout in that fight. Danny's always been a stout fighter. I don't know. That was the immediate comeback fight. And yes, Errol said, I don't want a soft touch. I want somebody solid. But how long does it take to recover from being in a veritable coma? The man was unconscious for days. We saw the pictures of how bust up he was. His brain had to take some knocking in his brain cavity. I don't know how recovered he was in that short period of time when he jumped back in the ring. Now, he was good enough to get past Danny. He was also good enough to get in front or get ahead of Ugas, who was a stand in front of you type of fighter. He didn't present the obstacles that Crawford did. Crawford was much more high level. But I'm saying Spence could easily overpower and diagnose with that same go forward, probe with the jab, come in, get in close with the body and work the body, replace his head with the shot that he wouldn't see, the uppercut that actually broke his orbital bone. But what got in the ring with Crawford was not Errol Spence Jr. That was someone damaged and injured, but yet he needed to secure this bag, 30 million. I would have done the same for my
Mm.
family's legacy and
Hey,
generation. Well,
hey, look here. And now when he told Crawford at the weigh in, when he told Crawford, you need to be thanking me, that shit
yes,
makes sense now.
yes. And he now one thing he said that got me in the build up. He
Oh, how
said some
much that? Oh, y'all know
legacy.
what they
He
got?
wasn't
Excuse me.
about legacy.
Don't cut him
He was
off. Don't cut.
about the bag.
Let him cook, but
He
so he
wasn't
don't
about
lose
the
train of
bag.
thought.
He
Go ahead.
said something about he wasn't about legacy. He was about the bag. Now he had already secured the money, but when he said that, that alerted me. I said, "Well, wait a minute. This is
Yeah,
about
I heard that too when he said it was about the bag, and I was like, that kind
set
of
me."
put
That
yeah.
set But I still was rocking. I said, you know what? Errol's the guy. He's going to get it done because I believe he was going to give us who he really was. But I didn't
Mhm.
see that in that ring. The other thing he said that on a few occasions. You never
Yeah.
heard Crawford speak about the bag. He knew he secured the bag. He even got more than he deserved because he did that in the negotiation. But only Errol was concerned about that bag. And I'm not saying he wasn't in that fight to try to win, but I think he knew he wasn't what he was before that accident. That's what I gleaned from that. The BDA thing, I watched the whole thing, listened to the whole thing. I took points from that. I'm not saying that I can trust that he was a doctor, but he made a lot of sense because the commission knew what Errol Spence's condition was, and yes, Ali was allowed to fight with Parkinson's, the onset of Parkinson's. Errol was a physical specimen. Maybe he got past all of the doctors. They got a doctor that would agree to allow him to fight. But I'm not thinking that what we saw in that ring that night was the Errol Spence that we all know and love.
I mean, I think we all can agree and easily see, just from the way he was fighting, bro. And we all watch film study. You watch everything of how this man moves. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? If Floyd Mayweather got in there and let's say you just take the faces off every fighter, if you saw how they fought, and just take their faces off. If you could do a computer screen and just watch how a fight, or you could just take another fighter and give him Floyd Mayweather skills, you could tell who he's fighting like.
right.
Cause we know how these fighters fight is what I'm trying to get y'all to see what I'm saying without taking
Visualize,
credit from Crawford.
visualize.
I'm trying to get y'all to see that this dude wasn't fighting like EJ. You know
No,
what I'm saying? He was fighting like he was desperate or something. Like he was fighting like he was trying. He didn't have the abilities to do what he did before.
to make
And
adjustments. He wouldn't
mhm,
listen to Derek James in the corner. His instructions were to get around him, don't stand in front of him. But he stayed right in front of him. He
but
put
what I'm
himself,
saying, he
yeah.
always listened. EJ is the one fighter that always, except for with that Sean Porter fight, he didn't
He's
listen
not
to him.
stubborn like the Charlo boy, the boy. He's not stubborn like him. He wouldn't listen in that what's that fight that he wouldn't listen to the instructions. But you know what I'm talking.
Hmm.
Yeah. But anyway,
And he even said all he had to do was listen to Derek James and go out there and do what he do.
offline, get offline after he'd throw something, but he would stay in firing range. And did you notice his
What's
stab
going
jab,
on with it?
bow and arrow jab? He would jump in with a very, very
Hot as
wide
shit out
stance,
here, ain't it?
Yeah,
and
I
then
mean he was lunging from so far out.
too
He was
far.
lunging.
Huh?
He was lunging from so far out.
Nah,
And
Somebody y'all
Crawford
mute
could read
yourself,
that.
baby.
Crawford could read that and
that's
make
what
a
mama
little
mean.
short little pivot, put himself
I
in
don't know.
position. That's how he hit him with that straight power jab that put on, and our
Nah,
boy was off balance, and that's why he
I got
fell.
that
Hey, hey, we can hear
Crawford
you, bro.
acknowledged.
that
Y'all,
Lexus
everybody
in the
mute
shop.
yourself. We can hear you. Whoever's
Wife
talking in the
leaving the
background,
truck.
Crawford acknowledged that it was just a flash knockdown in that first knockdown. But why did
That's
Spence put himself in that position? Why wasn't he as technical as we know he can be? This is an Olympic fighter who's seen many styles. He graced the ring early on before he even got going with Errol. I mean, with Mayweather. So I don't believe, although Crawford's performance showed some Mayweather-esque abilities, and what I saw some Mayweather-esque abilities. Remember, our boy was in the ring and got the respect of the man. Okay, so
hmm
I know I didn't see the Errol Spence I expected to see Saturday night. And I don't care if someone want to call me revisionist history, make an excuse. All I'm doing is analyzing what my eyes saw. That's
No,
it.
you don't pull kind of boxing, bro. You ain't got to worry about that.
Exactly.
You know, you can worry. You go to the other channels with that shit.
That's why,
Let's get
because I'm seeing all these other channels saying, "Oh, don't even try to look at any reason. It was just all Crawford." Bull. It wasn't all Crawford.
no. We got to examine everything. You may not want to go there, but shit, that was my guy. So we're going there. We're going there today. What's
Yeah,
going on, MP?
standing with you.
Game time.
I'm standing with you.
Yeah, game time. You there?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Sorry
sir.
about that, gentlemen.
Man, okay. So look, man, I've been listening for a minute.
Shoot.
I'm a moderator, so on your page, so I'll be
Mhm.
in here. I just don't really say nothing. But I just want to say, man, EJ got played, bro. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it pissed me off because he got played. Because it's like
Thank you, man.
Well, let's
we
not say
call we
he got played. The
oh,
man did get paid.
listen to me.
He got paid
He
30
he
million.
got play, but I'm
He got
saying
the
this
bag.
though.
Let him
He
cook,
got the bag.
Sorry about that.
But
Mr.
look
Rock.
though,
Let him cook. Let him cook.
we call Bud emotional.
Mm.
Bud has never Bud has never cared about what we have said. We've called him a duck for years. He kept ducking. He didn't care. But EJ listened to us and put himself on the line. And when he should have moved up, he didn't for us. And that's feeding into what we saying, feeding into what we say. He listened to us. Bud didn't care about what we said. And the thing is, look at how Bernie was talking to him. They were antagonizing him the whole time. And the thing is, you say he should have been moved up to 154, but his ego wouldn't let him do it. Like it was something about it. Just I feel like he was emotional, and Bud played him on it. He's a little sneaky motherfucker, and if you look at it, Shakur doing the same thing to Devin. He see he weak, and he trying to pounce on him, and what he trying to use emotional. Dev out with the hose. You want to bring something out, try to get up under his skin. But Dev know he weak at 135. He know he need to leave. But he care, but caring about being a duck, caring about what we say. Got my boy ass whooped. And being in Texas, they got $1 million man running in 110-degree heat. It's crazy down here, bro. It's crazy down here. I get tired driving in my car
Yeah.
in this heat. This heat
Oh,
is wild down here.
believe me, I ain't lying, bro. You cannot stand in that heat for like 10 minutes, nigga. That
And
shit is
EJ
that
was
bad.
running it. EJ was running in this shit. And he was even in Vegas running in this shit. Bud went to college. He went to Colorado Springs. Think that's smart. We laughed at his son of suits. But he was losing that weight that way. Bud EJ was using it a harsh way. It was a harsh way he was losing his weight. You know what I mean? And these coaches in Texas, they use the heat as a badge of honor. But this mailman falling out daily because of this heat. I just think he was super drained. They kept him down there at 147 too long. But guess who told him that? Bud told him that in Oklahoma. Bud said, when I beat you, they gonna say you was too weak and you stayed at 147 too long. And what are we saying?
That's the plan. That was the
And
plan.
and then you say he leave negotiations and he play him on his emotions again. I don't want to fight. It's like Keith Thurman. You should have fought Keith Thurman. If he was such an easy
That's
ass
what I
whooping, go
said.
get that.
I agree. I
That's
agree.
that's what I said. I said he got to stay active. That was my
Yeah.
thing. Stay
Yeah,
active.
you all fight Stanionis. Fight somebody because Bud is not caring about us, our community. He's not caring about us saying, "Oh, that was some bullshit." He ain't caring.
Hey,
But EJ didn't fight Thurman because he thought it was a bullshit fight. And he thought the fans were gonna say that was some bullshit.
But hey, Paul, let me say this. Let me say this. I did a video on my channel called Terrence Bud Crawford is a boxing business genius. And the reason why I said that is in my video I said the timing that he fights these fighters is perfect. He gets these fighters in whatever
Strategy.
situation they're in or whatever situation they dealing with and going through. They get a bag for fighting him, and then he beats them. And then now he on their resume and he's beat. And he told Spence his plan. You gonna be at 147 too long, and you gonna be drained. And in addition to that, he had the car accident. And now the more I'm starting to think about it, maybe the reason why Spence, because I heard him say he didn't take a tune-up or another fight because anything can happen.
Exactly.
We acting like Spence don't know. He obviously knows what's going
hey,
on with
hey,
him. And
excuse me.
there's
I
a
want to
reason
ask
why he
y'all
didn't do that.
what was the bag? What did they get paid? Y'all know?
I heard. All I hear
Probably
is
30,
rumors.
40 million dollars.
I heard they got like 30 million a piece. That's just what I heard. I don't know for a fact.
You don't
That's
know
just what
for
I
a
heard.
fact.
That's what I heard though. I heard 30 million a piece.
Even if
You
I
Well,
know what
was
I'm
this
saying?
this is what I feel like after watching everything. I feel like that nigga knew he wasn't right, and I
yeah,
feel like Bud was the biggest bag out
King
there.
Judah. Is that King Judah?
I don't know.
Who?
I'm just trying to get the consensus because when I saw him fight and I seen he wasn't fighting like he normally fights, and I was just like, something is wrong here. You know what I'm saying? The reflexes wasn't there. He just looked
He was
like,
tired.
yeah,
He
like
was
Well,
in
you
that
think
heat.
of
He
except in
was
the
in
hey,
that
clinch,
heat.
hey,
except in
That
the
excuse
heat
clinch.
me.
What up,
whooped.
And
y'all? I want to add this to the mix, man. The consideration, man. Like Errol really need to consider retiring because, man, the thing I don't want to see, I don't want to see him start losing the cats he should never lose to, man. That should have
yeah,
hurt
that's
my
for
heart,
sure.
man. I don't want to see
That's for
that shit
damn
start
sure.
happening.
Hey,
And
hey,
we
think
can't we
think
can't
about this
forget
right here.
about the
Hey,
things
hey,
that
think about
he
this.
Man,
agreed
Hey,
to in the
hey,
negotiations that made him
man,
still play.
excuse me,
he
y'all. Think
got
about this.
Hold
Excuse
on,
me, y'all.
one at a time.
Y'all
We
think
got time, y'all. We got
Hold
time.
on.
Just take
y'all
your
think
time.
y'all think about this right here, man. He had started complaining about them fucking fees for the sanctioning bodies. All of a sudden, money became real important to EJ. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Like, first off, I don't think he give a shit about not paying them sanctioning fees for them belts. He got all his money. Bud had to pay all them goddamn sanctioning fees. He had already been complaining about that. And I'm starting to believe that the nigga, man, that nigga knew he wasn't right. And to be honest with you,
bro.
I
I
know
don't
some
even think
people
it was
that
that.
was in the, I know some people that's affiliated with the camp, and I'm not gonna even tell you what they told me that was going on in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? The night before the fight. So
What you
Man,
mean?
that
What was
nigga was.
going
Do
on?
Don't
tell.
don't tell me. Don't tell me he was out there partying and shit.
Do tell.
Don't tell me that shit. Don't even tell me that shit. I don't even want to know.
He got his
Don't
ass
even.
whooped. He got his ass whooped, and what he did was he that second round he tried to rush that
well,
nigga.
they didn't
That
say
second
nothing about no
that,
drugs or
that
drinking, but
no,
they said it was
he
some
tried.
fucking going on though.
Man, he tried to rush that man. If he came out and been a little bit more patient, he probably would have did a little better. But he
Yeah, he
tried
should
to
have had a
rush him.
plan to box, man. He ain't
Yeah,
had no
he
plan to
should have
box.
boxed him. He should have boxed him, bro. But
Don't look
but
like
the
he.
see,
Don't look like he had the ability to box him, bro.
Nah,
I'm
No.
saying like,
once he know he
okay,
wasn't
like
fucking with him, he
Let
started
me
selling
get
out,
in. Let me
man.
get in. Let me get in.
okay, look, when you get a say for instance in a basketball game, bro, you get a lead. Most of the time, you get the lead off defense. Teams come back because you think your offense got you that lead, but it's your defense. You got to get back to what you know. What I'm saying the defense.
Facts.
He's always boxed people, but he fed into his own shit, and now he got to go back to the drawing board. And I think that's the best thing for him.
You
Yeah,
got two. The question is, was Crawford that good, or was EJ just that bad? Which one was it?
EJ was just that dumb that night. Tried to rush that man. He got hit in the head. That
Errol,
and he wasn't never the same as after that
yeah,
first knockdown.
If
Errol
Earl
was,
come back, he need to go on the soup sandwich tour, man.
yeah,
Straight up.
he wasn't defensively responsible,
Was
and
was
Nah, bro.
Crawford was
say
Crawford was
he
Crawford as good as is Crawford as good as EJ made him look?
Man, bro. I
no
just think he
no.
rushed that man too early, man. He tried to
Man,
jump on
that
him too
nigga
early.
EJ and then gave the Bud the popularity thing, man.
Yeah, man.
Everybody
He
has to
gave it
wake
all
up,
up.
bro. He gave the nigga the popularity, bro. Nobody was looking and checking for Terrence Crawford ever in life unless he started
Errol,
fighting EJ, bro. The nigga
Errol
gave
And
it
was
that
up
was the
not.
for him,
plan.
bro.
That was the plan from the whole jump,
He
bro.
like y'all don't know y'all if y'all listen to his interviews, the context is gonna be legend. There's gonna be like make a life out of my movie. Like what the fuck, y'all? Like they say, he looked just like Wilder and Fury too, bro. The niggas look fucked up, bro. It like these niggas is doing MK Ultra on these niggas, or these niggas know to play, bro. They signing the contract, bro.
True.
We don't know what's in that shit, bro. That we don't know
Yeah.
this shit. This shit could be these niggas could be playing on us like we fucking like it's all a game. Like they probably laughing at us. So I tell everybody they made 30 million. You gotta go to work the next day. You know what I'm saying?
So true.
Think about it, bro.
I
Crystal.
mean, it's
That'll be
entertainment at the
that,
end
that
of the
that'll be
day.
that. I
At
would
the end
hate to
of the day,
think
it's
like
all
that.
entertainment.
I
Yeah.
would hate to
Nigga, that
think
was
like
dope
that,
right
bro.
there, nigga. That was fly.
Fact.
Nigga,
Fact.
he had to go to work, nigga. Fuck out of here,
That
nigga.
generational wealth is real. It's a big time motivator, no doubt. None of us would turn that down. None of
Man, he
us.
should be better. If he
But
fight him
then
again
y'all
at
see the
154, he should be better.
my
Nigga, if
bad. But
I'd do,
let me say,
if I
like
knew that nigga was gonna do that bad, I'd have stole that fight like I normally do. Oh,
Hell,
bitch ass
for real,
nigga.
look how I played everybody though. Ain't nobody think that shit was
Facts.
gonna be like that, bro. They played the
Mhm.
people, man.
it's
Nigga, I'd
possible.
have stole that hoe like I normally do, old
But
nigga.
I
Oh,
know
ass
that
nigga.
Errol that was in that ring.
That was not Earl. It was like that shit was like this like the nigga was drugged like Wilder.
Hell yeah.
It
But
looked
Hey,
like
but why nobody
when
even
I
paid
tell everybody
attention?
who ever seen Taylor Crawford lump a nigga face up like that, bro? Come
How
on
Never.
y'all
now.
how y'all
yeah,
think
this
Terrence
remind me
Crawford
of when
reacted?
Sergio Martinez and Miguel Cotto fought, and Sergio had one leg and just got the dog shit beat out of him. I was at the party telling everybody, this ain't how you normally look. This ain't how you normally look. Ain't nobody want to hear
Right.
that shit, though.
Hey,
But
hey, that nigga ain't
how
that
do y'all
good,
think
dog.
Crawford responded
But
to the
Crawford
win?
damn good fighter, but he ain't
Hold on,
that
y'all
guy.
talking over each other. Let 2 cent in, cuz. Go
Who-
ahead, 2 cent.
I'm asking, how do y'all think Crawford responded to the win? It
Classy. Classy.
Oh, that nigga whole ass shit. His
man,
team was some bitches
it
about it.
just yeah,
Gracefully.
it just
But
It
it
was
was
didn't.
like a
He
dry.
looked
It was
third.
somber. He
dry.
Yeah,
looked real somber. He wasn't really celebrating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
it
real
was dry.
somber. It was
I wasn't
dry. He
mad
didn't
at him.
seem excited to be the first male 2-time undisputed champion of the world.
You could see it in his face in a post fight, like he didn't really want it. You could tell in his face.
He didn't
He
earn it.
probably,
He didn't
all
earn
in
it.
all, the powers that be it was probably gonna be Bud win no matter what, but it was gonna be on the cards. But
It was easier than
they
he wanted it to be.
they wanted to punish Earl for, like everybody say, speaking out. You're speaking against people. These are the powers that be. You a worker for real, man.
I don't know. I don't know about that, man. I don't know. That's been
Yeah.
Yeah, I
coming up
can't
You
put
had
more.
to
nothing
say
on that
stuff in
shit.
That's
bracket.
been
You act
coming
like
up.
you
That's been
started
coming up
protesting.
more and more
That's that
about the
I lean more
sanctioning
toward the
body shit.
cards, though.
Did,
I
did,
mean,
you, did y'all see the tweet with Crawford says a party with the president of WBL? Like, how would y'all start
Yeah, but
partying
if
with
he
these
got jerked
people?
in the cards, okay, cool. But that wasn't him
It'll
getting
want
jerked
us
in
to
the
see
cards.
it will want us to see a rematch. Now it's to the point where he didn't got beat so bad. People like, fuck that shit. Why would I want to see that shit again? You know what I'm saying?
But why wouldn't they
It's
want to make
almost
their
like
bag twice? They
it's
want
It's a
that
almost like
rematch.
humiliation.
if I was a runner and I wanted to improve my time, so I did something to improve my time, and then I end up breaking a record. And it's like, damn, I ain't mean to break the record. Like I just was trying to improve my time. That's what the fight looked like. Like I wanted to win, but it just looked like it was overdone.
The only way I would watch a rematch is if he rejoins with Blu-ray, and a few other things. But that's key right there. I
I'll
got
watch it. I ain't paying for it.
Is there any way he can get a fight before the rematch? Or that shit can't happen.
And that's
I don't know if he got some kind of brain injury. I mean, he better not take no damn another fight because he already. They talking about fighting in December. He ain't got time for no damn tune up.
Oh hell,
too
he
soon.
can't
That's
go
too
in
soon.
December. He ain't gonna be
That's
able to
too
go in
soon.
December. That's too quick.
Yeah, but Bud
That's,
got that nigga trapped.
yep.
Bud got him
Bud ain't
trapped.
got, man. This nigga trying to
Yeah, it's
He
time
got
to
cash
him.
out,
bow
my
out.
nigga. That nigga
He
It's
got
time
cash
to
out,
gracefully
dog.
My
bow out.
thing is, y'all fellas and everybody. This is my thing. If you was out that long, you should have been prepared like a motherfucker, bro.
exactly, bro.
Agreed. Agreed.
Exactly.
One
And
more
that's that.
answer like that, Kelly, man.
You
Seriously.
know, if you was out all that time, you should have been doing. You had so much time, bro, to put into your preparation, but took advantage of it.
Yeah.
You know, what I'm trying to. What got me perplexed is why EJ didn't look better. You know, he didn't come out there. He didn't look full. He didn't
Right.
look rehydrated. And people are just like, well, it is what it is. No, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all see
Yeah,
how
he should have
big that
looked better
man was?
body wise.
Hey,
Yeah.
Body
Paul,
wise at least.
Paul, how
Yeah.
many people in here? How many people in here? Because I want you to go around the board and ask and tell everybody to give their honest opinion about what it was they saw. Honest,
Well,
not
I
no
think
bullshit.
we don't heard everybody's opinion on that. Let me see who was that in the corner. Scooby. Scoob. I didn't hear what you had to say about it, bro. I didn't hear what you had to say. Scoob. Is that your name, Scooby? Scoob? Mr. Davis? Can't hear you. Can you? I think you might be on mute.
Hit your microphone, brother.
Okay.
That's me.
Oh,
That's me.
yeah. Go ahead. I don't think we got your take on it.
Oh yeah, man. I just think that it was all a setup, man. The business of boxing, man. It was a big cash out, man. That's why
Yeah.
EJ didn't fight Thurman because they knew they didn't want to risk this fight because this is a 60, $70 million fight.
Right.
EJ calling out the commission, boxing commission, all of it was tactical plan because that's the biggest fight that could have made the money. So now you turn Bud into a superstar. Now he can fight Charlo. Charlo gonna whoop Canelo, and then now because EJ and Charlo were gonna be a big fight. You see, so it's all they playing on our mind, man. You know, boxing cricket, man. They just sacrificed Errol, man. But
Yeah.
they knew something wrong with him. Look how
I can
fast the doctor was in the ring in the
ear-
third round.
early. Never that's happened. Never. And no pin
Yeah,
light. No
Like
no real.
he won
All he is.
he wasn't nothing going on with him. They was already in the ring. Like, okay, it's a flash knockdown, but they like his
I'm,
legs already gone, bro. They knew what was going
They
on, man.
knew.
Does it seem like to y'all that all of Earl Spence's advantages was not there? His size, his
Look,
power,
look,
none of it.
seemed like
this
that
what I
nigga had
this
contracted
look, look,
Ebola or
that's what
something.
I'm talking about, Jay. That's what I'm talking about. That's what kind of
That's
threw me
that's
off.
why
I'm like, none of
that,
his advantage. His stamina wasn't there. His motherfucking size wasn't there.
He was
It's like
tired
can,
after 2 rounds. He was
can I
hurt
his
after.
say
punch,
this? Can I can I
his
say
hold
this?
on, no,
He's
let me finish my thought, bro. His
okay.
punch resistance wasn't there. I mean, none of that shit. Like Jay said, none of his advantages was there. None. He wasn't forceful. His power
no
wasn't there.
no
Nothing.
none of
Go
Right,
none of
ahead.
it.
right. Let me say this. After round one, I saw him walking back to the corner and he said, I'm tired. I read his lips. He was tired after the first round. Bud really could have finished them in round two. They really just carried the fight the whole time. Man, EJ, man, that wasn't, I don't even know. That might be you, Pool. That wasn't Errol, man. That was somebody who couldn't fight. That was a
No,
clone, man.
if that would have been me, I would have knocked that bastard out. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all that.
Well, you know, after
you,
the fight, he
you'd have
said
put a
he
better
wasn't feeling
fighter.
good. EJ said, "No, I wasn't feeling good, but normally I just push through." I'm like, "What the fuck you talking about? Normally you just push through. What the fuck is
Hmm.
that? Push, man, this
If that's
motherfucker
the
paid
case,
I'm,
nigga,
$100
you
for
should
this."
be up a weight. If that's the case, you should have moved
no,
out this weight class if you always felt like this anyway. I think
but
he ain't had no respect for that neither, man. That's a big part of it
no.
too.
I'm gonna tell you, they put a stain on boxing, bro. Cause I have people join this fight, watching this fight that don't watch boxing, and they like that's the second best guy right there. That was an embarrassment, bro. That turned
Yo,
the
how
that
come
gonna turn people off, bro.
every time we
They
have a
shouldn't have
mega
did that.
fight, it's a trash ass fight? Y'all notice that every time we get like everybody rallied up, the casuals to watch it fight, that shit don't
Mm-hmm.
never pan out to be what we want.
That's why boxing keep dying, bro. Cause they doing that, cause it be money grabs, bro.
And look like nowadays everything is a fucking money grab. Everything is a hustle nowadays. I don't know. Maybe it's always been like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and how we just waking up and seeing it now. Well, it always been like
Yeah,
that.
eyes on the screen is the biggest incentive. They don't give a shit about the product. That's what it look like.
But if EJ signed up for it, you
Hey,
know what
yo,
I'm saying?
cool.
But you go
Yeah,
sign
Yeah.
up for 30 million. Now pull.
yeah,
You go
yeah.
sign up for 30 now. Keep it G. You signing up for 30. It don't matter if you got one leg. You getting in that mother for
Especially
30
if you
million.
know, especially if you know you declined it. You about to take that cat bag now because it ain't coming in the future.
Yeah. Cause you think about your kids. You
Well,
getting
he
in there,
always
man.
he been talking more and more about his kids and taking care of his family, and both of them been really saying that.
In the go ahead.
So what's going on, Skit so far? What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm gonna be real quick, man. I just wanted to say a few things I noticed in the build up to the fight. I know that y'all already touched on it. Errol red flagged me when he said, man, I used to be worried about all these legacy fights. Now I'm in it for the money fights. That was the first thing. And then I noticed he kept saying, Bud is my perfect dance partner and I'm his perfect dance partner. Now I'm not trying to read too deep into that, but he kept saying it. Now I know like I might probably I'm going straight to the point here. I feel like the whole thing was just the good old fashioned boxing fixed event. I feel like Derek James and everybody else knew. And look, before y'all go off, I'm not saying, oh, I don't like Errol, I don't like Derek, none of that. I'm saying that we don't know these people. We love them. I love Errol. Errol, my number one fighter, man. But I don't know him. I don't went to a concert before, and back in the day, and MC Hammer was my favorite rapper at the time. And my mom walked me up to him
He a
to
straight
go down,
asshole.
and he straight dead me dirty as a little kid.
Wow.
He left me hanging as a little kid. So that just
Yeah,
goes to
he a
say,
dirty asshole. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm just saying, man, I love Errol, and I don't love him no less today than I did before. But what I'm saying is, I always keep it real with myself. We don't know these people, and like
That's
the
true.
last brother said, for 30 million, shoot, I'll hop in there and take that ass whooping. But the last thing I want to say is, as good as people want to say Bud's performance was, did y'all notice?
Everybody mute yourself. You got background, y'all. Somebody going through their cabinets. Somebody looking for cereal. Somebody eating neck bone.
Did y'all
Y'all
notice
mute
that
yourself.
Bud?
Hey, that's
Did
me,
y'all notice
nigga.
that? Did y'all notice that Bud wasn't even trying that hard? Like Bud wasn't even trying that hard. Like we don't. I seen clips of him pushing Errol up off of him. It looked like he was pushing a little child, and Errol going
Mhm.
flying back across the ring. So like
Exactly.
I feel like Bud knew that Errol was out on the plate for him, and a part of him was like, man, I ain't about to straight kill this man. But
He
they
took it
loaded the
easy on him, low key. He took it easy on Spence, bro. You could
Yeah,
tell.
and the loaded. So let me just conclude. I'm gonna land it right here. I feel like the old days of fixing fights, like them old fixed fights, where we know it's fixed and we see it. I think that's over with. I think what they do is they step to people like him and Wilder, and they say, "Yo, you got to throw this fight," and they say, "Okay, well." I'm not a good actor, so we're gonna give you this sedative. It's gonna throw you off. You're gonna go out there. You're gonna look fumbly, and it's gonna make it look more real. We're gonna lower his gloves, and it's gonna it's gonna add effect, and the crowd gonna go crazy because everybody drinking and drunk, and they love it anyway. And that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I had to say.
Man, you know what? I would
Yo,
stop watching this shit, man.
you know what? Hey, that dude made a good point because I was thinking about that the other night. Now, the only thing is, I didn't think they'd go far as to have the gloves loaded when they throwing a fight. But I
Right.
did think what they would do is when they want you to throw a fight, they'll pump you full of morphine so you don't feel the pain or the punishment you're taking.
Right. Right. Right.
That's what I think.
Or maybe that explains why Errol was looking the way he was looking when you know you finna lose your O, or you finna take a dive or something. You ain't feeling good about that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You
That's what I'm
ain't
saying. That's why
looking
I say
good.
no. Nobody. Yeah, nobody going there to take a beating like that for no. Like people think, yeah, money is a motivator, but I'm not gonna lie. Terrence Crawford is a world class fighter. You're not gonna let him beat on you that much if you can feel it. So I do
Yeah.
believe it's plausible that they'll pump you full of some shit when you can't feel what's happening to you.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Can't argue.
I'm just
But
listening to everything. I'm trying to get all the conspiracy theories out, and just to
I
see what falls through, because what makes more
mean,
plausible sense. Plausible
But
sense. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
but if you look, if y'all look in the second round, Earl tried to bulldoze Bud. Bud stopped him in his track and pushed him, and Earl flew back. Earl ain't never been pushed back like that, bro.
Nope.
Bud not that strong to push EJ or the real EJ. I don't
Well,
know who that was.
when they clinched, he wasn't even holding Errol Spence Jr. arms like that, and he could. I mean, he couldn't push. He felt the strength of Bud Crawford, and he couldn't do shit with Crawford. He couldn't push him back. He couldn't, you know what I'm saying, do nothing, bro. He couldn't get his shots in. His body shots look like little taps. You know,
Yeah.
Well,
we
but
know.
but 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 that did not physics. Even fighters that fought both of them tell you EJ the stronger man. So how
Yeah,
make that make
that's what
sense?
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, like, when you see EJ go to the body, he be putting that oomph into it. Look like his legs wasn't even positioned to put the oomph into the punches. You know what I'm saying, that he usually do, and it
Yeah.
looked like little taps. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I'm like,
He
what? Go
off with
ahead.
him.
Yeah, his
Every,
power wasn't there. His movement wasn't there. Even people say he don't move his head, but EJ move his head when he have to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and defensively responsible usually. Usually.
yeah, he
And
usually jump back. He had that jump back. He can jump back and jump in and jump back, and he wasn't doing no angles. And then another thing, Derek James, the way they set this up, Derek had a fight a week before Earl with Frank. Now he got Joshua and Charlo. He ain't even got time to do multiple game plans, bro. This is ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, you saw he working with all the other ones, and then Errol be working by himself.
That's why when they asked Bomac how is to be a trainer, Derek said he got three people helping him because he really wants some help because he got all these fighters he took on for the money. But
Derek
Hey,
Earl
James,
is your number one fighter, bro. You gotta take care of Earl first, bro. Earl the one got people that want to come train with you, bro.
but he probably know Earl got something going on, and it's not gonna be much longer. And Derek James was out of character too. Maybe he knew something was going on too. And even Crawford and his team was out of character because all that shit they talked this whole time. Now all of a sudden they so humble and ain't got nothing to say. It was just all so weird.
I totally peeped that, Jay. Because if they knew if they really would have won it the fair way, you would have been off the chain, bro. You would have been jumping on the ring rope. You would have been
Right,
taunting him. But they were so respectful with it, bro. They
right.
were so, and that's not their camp. Their camp ain't never respectful.
But
You know what I'm saying?
but the fans ain't respectful because a lot of these
Like, we're
cats
not
they
talking about the
acting.
fans. We talking about the
No,
demeanor
yeah,
of
I get you
Bud
with that.
Crawford.
You right about that. You 100% right. But I'm saying these fans running up to me like they the one whoop EJ, and now I'm mad because now I feel like I got to whoop a fan because they acting like they got in there and whoop EJ, man. So
Man, fuck Crawford fans, man. Don't nobody care about that shit, man. It's like we
Hey,
trying to
look,
figure out
look, it
why
was a
we did
bad
this,
weekend.
what was going on with EJ, and they don't want you to talk about that. But I don't give a fuck. I'm full kind of boss. I'm talking about what the hell I want to talk about, and fuck what they talk about. So we're gonna explore the shit. Now we're not saying that this what happened, but we want to we know the man didn't look right, right?
right,
No matter your man won, la di da, la di do. Now get the hell on, okay?
that's
Your
all I'm
man,
saying. That's all I'm saying, Paul. I'm saying, bro, Earl looked like he couldn't have beat nobody the way he fought. Like I probably would have beat that Earl Spence. Because
hmm
that was he looked like Avenesian could have beat him. All them little guys could have beat Earl that night, bro. That was embarrassing, man.
And that's
That
a good point. How did
but we
Crawford beat
got
Avanasian or whatever his name was? He didn't beat him that bad. He did knock him out, but look what happened with Earl. That doesn't compute. It just doesn't compute.
Well,
Errol's way.
since we going there, I was looking up some stuff last night, and I seen that Avanesian said that Crawford gloves didn't feel right, and then I
Mm,
seen some pop up from the Jeff Horn fight that say Jeff Horn was saying something about Crawford using loaded gloves.
Crawford deal with Kinahan, man. You can't trust nothing about Crawford.
That's why them damn bloods seem like they were extra strong because that motherfucker
And
had
if
them
you
neck
think
bones
about
up
it,
in that motherfucker.
and I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but if you think about it throughout the whole fight, every time somebody mentions something to Crawford about Earl Spence, what fight did he bring up? Jeff Horn.
I mean, he might have
But
been. Hold on, y'all. He might have been hurt with the jab, bro. We trying to hear. we already gave Bud Crawford his credit for the fucking fight. Okay, y'all. Okay, for everybody else who don't want to hear the rest of this shit, get the hell on. Okay, because now we're trying to explore what might have happened, why EJ looked the way he looked. It wasn't just a fucking jab. You don't just destroy somebody with a fucking jab. If you've been watching, but I mean, you don't just bust up a motherfucker like that, like you got a goddamn overhand, like a hook, and putting your body into it. I mean, you can bust somebody up with a jab over time, but just to come out that motherfucker and make your face red from round one to round
Round
two,
one.
and you all fucked up. Come on, y'all. Y'all come on now. I mean,
Ain't nobody
you
using
know,
common sense, Paul. We the only one with common sense look like it. What's going on, bro?
right. You know,
Nebraskan assassin, why don't you hop on the panel?
and
Since I
y'all
sound
notice
good,
Crawford,
hop on the panel.
right? You cooking though. Y'all notice Crawford didn't take his gloves off in the ring after the fight. I mean, am I wrong? Did anyone see
somebody
him take his
said Derek
gloves off?
James. Somebody said Derek James went over there to feel the gloves or whatever.
I
But
saw him. He seemed
but
a
like
little low key.
But like Tyson Fury, you know what I'm saying? Whatever was in Tyson Fury gloves, what's his name? What was that boxer name that fought Mayweather came up there and took something and shit from the ring, you know, when that shit fell on the ring mat. And dipped out with it, you know what I'm saying, before they could get the gloves and shit. Boxing is a dirty sport. You know, a lot
Yeah,
of
it's
people don't
dirty.
want to. A lot of people don't want to bleed this shit. But when it's high competition like this, motherfuckers don't want to get embarrassed. They'll do anything. Now,
Well, it's the business mind. It's the business mind. Crawford left Barbera. They know Earl is finished because of that car accident. They finna put their money behind Crawford, man. He
well,
just signed with the PBC. All of it, man. It's all
well,
gonna be like
my
that.
thing is, you know, when Errol said that he wasn't the same fighter, and he admitted that, you know, saying if he wasn't the same fighter, and he said that he would also bet on Crawford. I just thought that was stranger than a motherfucker. I didn't put
Was
much stock
it?
into it at that time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I didn't put much stock into that at that time. But then now I'm hearing stuff after the fact that this man reflexes and stuff wasn't on in training. I'm starting to hear all this shit come out now. And it's like, bro, they kept that shit tight.
Yeah,
You know
even
what I'm saying?
acknowledged Crawford was more skilled. I was like, what? I don't
Well, look,
I
if y'all look back at the media workout, Spence was steady having to go drink water. He was tired in the media workout. If y'all not seeing that? Like after a minute, he got to go over there.
I,
And his dad was giving him water and stuff
I
at the
thought he was
media
just
I
trying
workout.
to stay hydrated.
yeah, I thought he was doing that nutritionist shit. You know what I'm saying? That he you know, saying you got to stay hydrated or whatever. And I'm thinking he in the
Nah,
best
man, it was a
shape
fucking
of his
cash.
life.
It was a cash out, man.
I
Yeah,
think so.
This was a
I
cash
agree with
out,
that
dog.
too.
but that
But
turned like right now. A lot of people I know saying they not buying no more pay per view. That really lost y'all
Well, you
more
know
money
what?
than it was.
This fight is going to have an effect, and I'm telling y'all, and I know y'all kind of follow my thoughts on this. This is going to follow the Jamel Charlo. This is going to affect that fight, Canelo fight. This fight here is
Yeah,
gonna affect that. You
I
know what I'm
don't
saying?
think
yeah.
Because everybody's going to be wondering what the fuck are we going to get? You know what
exactly.
I'm saying?
I don't
probably
think
the same thing,
I'm
man.
not paying for that shit. I know
no,
that much.
hell no.
But
But
look,
yeah,
man.
I mean, you know, it's just so many,
I'm gonna have co-fire sticks
so
up
many
there, nigga.
content, so many people that make content, you know, and boxing fans think they can police, you know, what I'm saying what everybody think in boxing. You know, what I'm saying fuck all that, bro. We
Start.
want to explore everything. I want to hear all opinions. I want to hear everything. That's not saying that's the way it is. It's just that this is what people are thinking out there, and if you don't want to hear that, take your ass on somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You can't control you can't make nobody believe what the fuck you believe. You know what I'm saying? This is a very passionate sport. when your favorite fighter go down, you want to explore all the options. Now, I don't give a fuck
Yeah,
what you think about me, but
right.
we're going to talk about what we want to talk about. So if
No,
you think we're
pull this. How
crying,
your favorite fighter go down? If
right?
it
Well,
had
I'm
been a
just
good
saying.
fight,
I'm just saying
then
though. That's why I made a fucking boxing channel. If you don't like it, go make your own fucking boxing channel and talk about what you want to talk about. Okay?
Right.
So I'm just tired of deleting and kicking these assholes out of here. Saying talking about we crying. I don't care, nigga. Saying if
Right.
you don't want to hear it, you don't have to
yeah, we
tune in.
cried, nigga. We
Nobody
cried.
crying.
Hey,
You
pull.
don't have
Look
to
here,
tune
pull.
in.
Hey, pull.
Mhm.
Ain't
If it had
nobody
been a good, if it
when you
had
got
been a decent fight and Crawford had whooped his ass, I wouldn't have had nothing to say. But
Me
I'd be like,
neither. Me neither.
Crawford,
Exactly.
that dude. Crawford, that dude. That's all I've said.
that's all
But
I
But
he's
want.
still great. Crawford great, but not that great. He
Not that
not how he looked. That
not what
right
we
there.
to
No.
answer Paul's question. Not what we saw. No. He
Yeah.
wasn't that
yeah.
Come
So
on,
I,
y'all.
you
Hit
know, what I
the hit
mean,
the
But
Yo,
hit the. I know we got a bunch of lurking haters out there, but hit the like button while you're hating and shit.
that's what I was about to say, man. It's like 200 in the chat. Y'all talking like hell. Hit that like button, man. Hit that
Hey,
like button.
Paul.
but y'all,
shit, I'm gonna try to pay
what I
Hey,
attention.
think they're
Paul. Can
gonna
I
do.
say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Zach.
What
And
if, and I don't like doing what ifs, but I'm looking at it like this. If they talked on the phone, right? And
Mhm.
what if they just discussed all this and EJ told him, like, bro, I'm ready to cash out? Because Bud could have hurt. He could have hurt Earl bad.
Yeah.
And he literally he took his foot off the gas, man. And even during the presser, like it wasn't no disrespect. Paul was talking to that man like he was his brother.
Hmm.
Now, I see that as respect, man. I mean, these
No, no,
two,
no, no.
they
I
really,
know it was respect. I trust me. I know it was respect. But EJ also lead and said and told him. He said, man, thank me for making this fight.
no, I
But
mean,
this
even after the fight, you know what I'm saying? Like Bud, I feel like Bud really did let off the gas pedal, but as we seen with the Charlos, we've all seen some folks get disrespectful after you had a car lead up to a fight. And I do want to just give that shout out. Like these two never went low, even though Derrick James went low on Bomac. Those two kind of kept it gentleman like without like really going into it at each other. And in the end, that definitely helped. With him not just really doing the error all the way dirty.
But
But do you
you
agree?
don't, you
Hold on.
don't,
Five for the
hold on,
last five.
hold on. You
Let me
don't
ask you
think,
something.
the Crawford count went low.
They've been going low the last
I
5
think I
years.
think I think if Errol would have did that to Bud, he would have did that. Wipe your feet, kick dirt all over his ass. I think he would have did that.
But
Do
do
y'all
you
think I'm
agree
lying?
that for the bag, right? For the bag, that they would make that agreement? Because that's a big bag. That's the biggest bag either one of them ever gonna make.
Yeah,
But it's an
yeah.
agreement to fight. I don't think Errol gonna sign up. Just say like somebody else said. Like, do anybody think Errol went into this fight not thinking he could win?
yes.
If
Bro,
his
Hell,
plan, if
with
his
that
plan, yes.
performance, yes.
Yes.
not with the performance. I mean, like before he fought him. I know looking at the fight because I pay attention to everything. And he had worry lines on his head. He didn't look confident coming out there. No matter what, he knows himself. He knows what he's finna go up against. He didn't have that eye of the tiger. He didn't look like he was going in there to try to kill somebody. He looked like he was worried. He looked like he wasn't sure. He looked like he wasn't confident. I don't know if they coach should have been slapping him and doing all that Apollo Creed stuff. I don't know. But they didn't have him ready to slay that dragon.
Yeah. Let me say something, full
Bro.
counter. Let me say something, full counter.
Let me get this super chat. Ty said, "Thank you for that 4.99 in support chat." He said, "I support your channel, but I'm nobody. Cool. Have a great show. No doubt, my brother. Thank you, Ty, for that. Go ahead. What you
You are
saying?
somebody, man. You
Yeah,
are
yeah.
somebody.
I just
Yes, you
wanted to
are.
say this, man. It's a lot of people we don't see. Al Heyman being one of them. But then you got to think about Showtime, PBC. They just signed a major deal with Paramount, right? So there's a lot more people we don't see behind the scenes. Who pays the fighters? The networks. The money comes out of the networks' pockets. So I'm gonna use Wilder and Fury for example. That was on Fox pay per view. if Fox, when they sit down with these executive meetings and they say we don't want to see the big white man getting knocked on our network by a big black man, that's what it's got to be. And the same with this. If they in those meetings that none of us go to, if they say they want the fight to end like this, you're gonna receive a great bag, young man. You're gonna receive 30 million. That man, we don't know Errol. We don't. I love Errol, but I don't know him, so I don't know what he would do. But let me land on this real
I
quick.
just find it hard to believe that. Though. Go ahead, bro.
I find it hard to believe too, because I love Errol, but I know at the end of the day I don't know him. But I'm gonna say this last piece. Over the next few weeks, I think they look at fans like little fish, and they're big fish. No pun intended. So they're gonna be they may come out with something in a week or two and say, "Oh, Errol had COVID." Anyone on here who is a conscious mind, I want you. I use that as an example. I don't want you to fall for it. They expect us to just, oh, okay, that's it. He had COVID. Everything's fine. No, that don't explain all of these other red flags we see. So we got to stay aware and look at all of this stuff. We can't just be like, oh, it's just boxing. Everything's good. This has been the most corrupt sport since the 1930s. And can someone tell me when it stopped being the most corrupt sport? I can't. Nobody. It
I'm gonna
never
tell you.
stopped.
Oh, let me.
You
I got
want to
a
see?
big time, Mars, so you don't get blocked. Go ahead. Go ahead, Steve.
I want to see. I want to say the similarities between this fight, not between the fighters, but the actual fight. Look at how Golden Boy was saying, "Hey, you don't want to go near Tank." I believe the PBC was saying that to Errol. Errol believed he could beat him, but the people in the know was like, kind of like the trainers. You know, the trainers they were leaning heavily towards Crawford. Whether right or wrong, that's their pick. Everybody on here has their pick. Everybody got the right to their pick. But most of the people in the know, they wasn't leaning towards Spence, and that's for a reason. And I don't think it was, anything can happen in boxing. If you know boxing, man, they'll do anything to your ass in there. If you let them get a hold of your water, you let them get a hold of your gloves, it'll go down. But I really feel that Al Heyman knew he might need to stay away from Bud, and he didn't want to. And this is the
Yo,
result.
no, look, Errol knew. If y'all look at this video with Yellow Beezy, he was at the casino and he was like, I just dropped a bag on the fight. And he wouldn't show the ticket, but usually rappers want to stunt on how much they done dropped. That man, Earl told him, man, bet on Terrence Crawford, man. I'm
What?
telling you.
Dang, that crazy.
Yellow Beezy had, but he said, I just bet a bag. He was with Earl's sister, but he wouldn't show the ticket.
I saw that.
Yes.
And there was another part of him at the casino.
I'll tell you right now, I wasn't gonna go live today because I've been watching other content creator stuff, and it was just like, it just kind of killed my spirit. But I said, you know what, everybody fucked up, so let's go, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and get it.
Yeah, real talk. But me as a fight fan, I wanted EJ to win, but I really just wanted to see a good fight. I didn't care who won at the end of the day. But that right there, that was a disgrace, man. They supposed to get our money back, man.
Hey Ty, I got you, man. I made you a moderator so you don't get blocked and stuff. So there you go, bro. I made you a moderator so you can say your shit. He said, yes, sir. So, but yeah, man, I don't know. I think there's more to it. And like Tommy Hearns, I was saying this the other day in the live stream, fellas. Tommy Hearns said his legs was tired. He told Emmanuel Stewart before he fought Hagler. And because I went back and I was watching the fight, and I watched it over and over because I wanted Tommy Hearns to lose. I didn't give a damn, right? I wanted him to get his ass beat by Hagler. But when I really looked at the fight and I seen his legs were going, he was beating the shit out of Hagler, right? At the beginning of the fight. And then all of a sudden his legs got weak. He stopped wobbling. Hagler hadn't hit him with a punch yet. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted him to lose so bad, I didn't care. You know what I'm saying, back then. But now, like here, 30-something years later, 40 years later, I'm looking at the fight, and I'm like, his legs were gone before he even really got tagged. I'm saying, so, and then in the article, he says his legs were tired. He think he overtrained, and he told Emmanuel Stewart, so he went out there and just do what he could do. And I was like, man. I said, man, this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit.
But that's how Terry Crawford fans feel right now. They don't even care what was wrong with EJ. They just happy.
Right. So, I don't care what they say about me. I'm going to say my piece. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be here every day, motherfuckers. I'm going to be right here.
We all know you got the air flag like that U.S. monument shit where they pulling that goddamn U.S. flag up. We know that's you, man.
I'm flying like the goddamn Blue Angels, my nigga.
Yeah.
What's going on, D-Town? What's happening, man? We taking it from all angles. You done, D-Town?
Yo, y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, y'all should know about a name, big time. I'm a Dallas, Texas man. You hear me? Oak Cliff all the way, okay? Let me tell you something, people. That wasn't my boy EJ in that homie. That wasn't him. I don't know what though.
This don't sound like D-Town. This don't sound like, well, yeah, it must be two D-Town because one's a pastor.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm from Texas too. I'm from Dallas.
Okay,
okay. So look, I'm gonna give my props to Bud because I was talking my cash money shit. If you know anything about Cowboys, we talk cash money. So I was talking with cash. You hear me? But Bud did his thing. But this is what I'm gonna say. Everything y'all been saying, bro, that's right, man. Just like I say, I'm sure all y'all been looking at EJ. I've been looking at my boy E too. Trust me, bro. That wasn't the same nigga, man. Like his face was swelling up quick. His legs was wobbly, like you know what I mean. And then like y'all say, like I was telling my baby, cause I ain't gonna lie, every girl in Dallas was hurt. I mean, like they nigga got beat up. You hear me? So they was all hurt. So baby was like, man, EJ look like he high, or women notice things about you that you just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Before anything, they always saying like, man, something wrong with EJ. He don't look right, man. He don't look the same. Woo woo. And it's like I want a rematch, but if you don't come out there like that to get beat up like that, bro, he don't need to do the game. You get what I'm saying? He really beat the odds by waking up, walking out that damn car crash. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah. But that's enough. Go ahead.
Yeah, he beat the car crash, came out, he gave us 2 fights right out of that, and he tried to do the undisputed. You know what I mean? So it's like if I'm gonna have to watch my nigga go out like that and not get no good fight, then I don't want my nigga in the ring no more. I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like his legacy good. I feel like he solidified himself. Now it's all about getting that generational whip. You know what I'm saying, nigga? We don't come from shit, so shit. I might as well go get some. I already got a 60, 40, what he got, 65 acres. Hell yeah, I'm gonna go get that 30 million so I can give me some more cows, chickens, and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't want him to go out like that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
My nigga got beat up like it was Rocky or something, man. But y'all keep going.
But I'm gonna tell you though, this what I thought, because I had a truck accident about 3 years ago, and they had gave me some anxiety pills, so I went anxiety, and it was calm. I was so calm, like it was like I was drowsy, and then I started to think like EJ might be on. When they were saying he was high, I'm like maybe either he nervous or got PTSD, but it looked like he on them same anxiety pills, and you just calm. It like at the press conference he calm,
Yeah, I
in
know
the
what you're
locker
talking about.
room he calm.
Them
So I'm like, man,
antidepressants type
yeah,
shit.
them antidepressant pills. But I couldn't take them. They got took 1 or 2 of them. Like, man, I don't like this.
Yeah, and you're right. And just think about it, bro. In his face, from all the other fights, this fight, bro, his face was full of fluid, like he was
Them
just
pills
puffy.
put fluid on you. Them
You get
pills
what
put fluid on you.
you get what I'm saying? So it looked like he
Yeah.
was just puffy. I'm talking about EJ with the shag. That was a whole different nigga. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This nigga right here,
I
man.
don't know. I don't know how you can convey that without it sound like sour grapes. They don't want to see that. You know what
Say
I'm
again,
saying?
OG. What you say? I'm
I say,
sorry.
I say they don't want to see that. I don't know how you can explain that without it being sour grapes. They don't give a fuck that
So
this
y'all,
man could have came in there with one leg. They don't give a fuck.
But this what I'm
no.
saying. But being the Dallas nigga too, I understand that. That's why I can't even be mad about EJ Bud them, because you know, I understand that you signed that contract, bro. Regardless of the situation, you here to fight. You know what I'm saying? One leg,
That's
one
it.
foot, one arm. You signed that hoe. It's
That's
time to
it.
fight. You know,
Yeah,
and that's just
but
the
even
game. You know
Bud
what I
showing
mean?
class though. My problem is Bud showing class because Bud took it easy on EJ, but his
Yeah, he
fans
did.
ain't showing no class.
Okay,
His fans that
What?
like
okay, but
him,
that's just Bud. They Bud fans. They from Omaha. They don't know no
But
better. You
hold
know
on,
what
hold
I'm
on.
saying?
Now, Bud get disrespectful with motherfuckers that get disrespectful with him.
Yeah, yeah.
Y'all
Look,
saw how that was when he fought what your boy
you want to
Benavidez.
know what
He
really
said
got me
fuck your
with Bud?
mama to
Because
Benavidez.
I never really been a fan because I didn't really know too much about him. But what really got me with Bud, bro, is just like y'all say. After that fight, bro, he gave my nigga his belts back. I say that's a real nigga. Point
no,
blank.
you gotta
Period.
get no,
He
you
a
keep
fan.
the belt.
He got a
You go
fan out of me, bro. You get what I'm
no,
saying?
No, no,
listen,
that's
you
part
get
of
the
the. That's
belts
part.
anyway.
Yeah.
You get new belts when you win. When you win, you get new belts. He
No,
just
no,
take a
I
picture with
get
the
that,
belt.
but it's just showing that to the people. Okay, yeah, we know that. You feel what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
the
yeah,
people
yeah.
that don't know, that still
Right.
show some type of like, okay, bro, you know what I'm saying? You know, but then too, just like I say too, I don't think he gonna have that same type of love for Jamel. I think he gonna try to beat the shit out of Jamal Charlo.
Nah,
I
he
ain't
Boy,
even
hate
gonna
that
lie to you.
motherfucker. He hate
they're
He
him.
gonna
gonna,
be
he
that
gonna
press
try to beat
conference
the
gonna
shit
be
out that
amazing,
dude,
bro.
man. You know what I'm saying? So
No,
Hey
them
man,
two
but
at the
tell me,
press conference, it gonna be lit, man.
I
Jamel,
know though.
oh
Keep it
boy,
real though. I know y'all had to love it when he looked at Jamel say you next. Oh, that was
now
beautiful.
I love that shit.
That was
I'm a
beautiful.
Texas nigga, and when I seen that, I said, now
That was
that's fight
beautiful.
right there,
That's
goddamn.
real.
That
That's
is fight.
real
That's what I like, goddamn.
old school shit right there. I
Yeah,
love
that was
that.
old school shit.
But if
Like
I
y'all
I'm about
love
to go
that
finish
shit.
but
your
if
boy
y'all
real
peep what's
fast. You
going
next,
on,
nigga. I'm about to
He
go
did his
finish
ass
your
like
boy.
but
You
Chun
next,
Li.
nigga.
You remember when Chun Li
if
did that
y'all
shit to
peep
Van
what's
Damme?
going on, if y'all peep what's going on, that's just
Y'all,
more mind games from Crawford.
Yeah, that's mind
Exactly.
game. Get your boy up off the floor. That's the biggest mind game it is. Cause man, hey, I keep it real though. You know somebody not your friend when you get knocked down and they smirk a little bit. Man, Mel look like he wanted. Goddamn, Mel look depressed. I said, yeah, that's really his partner because he ain't taking no
oh
joy in
no,
this shit.
now look.
But
One thing about it, we bro. When I say Dallas was hurt, like nigga, we wanted to hop in that hole and jump a nigga. You hear me? Like nigga, get back, yo, and nigga,
Man,
like
he was
y'all got
knocked
the
nah,
down,
game
look,
y'all
fucked
ass
up,
out
nigga.
too.
Like you know, y'all nah, we gonna jump the shit out your ass if it ain't yeah, nigga. We gonna
Hold
jump
on,
the
G.
shit
nah,
out
Hold on,
your ass.
hold
I
on,
hope
G.
you
Jamel,
ready, nigga.
Hold
One
on,
on
fellas.
one
Hold
for
on.
boy, for nigga
Let me
say, you
pump.
hear
Let me
me?
pump. Hold on. Let me pump 2 cents. Champ. Hey, y'all. Hey, 2 cents trying to get up to 1,000 subs. You know what I'm saying? If you rock with Pool Count, and I definitely rock with 2 Cent Boxing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Please take a little bit of time right now. Go over to her channel and hit the sub button for her, please. Let's get the queen
Appreciate
up
it.
to a
Yeah, y'all
two
thousand.
put that
cents.
in the chat.
Let's
Okay,
get the
bet we gonna
queen
do
up to 1,000. Let's get the queen. Let's take a moment right now and let's for everybody who rock with Full Kind of Boxing, man. Let me tell you something. 2 Cent Boxing has been down by law. You know what I'm saying? So y'all give her a sub over there, man, so you can hear some more of this great content. She really knows her boxing, bro. You know what I'm saying? She really do. So let's take a
Hey,
moment to go over there and give her some subs and stuff.
it's
Mm-hmm.
2 cents. The young lady that's on the panel now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna rock out with you. Hell yeah.
Nah, for
Appreciate it.
real.
Appreciate it.
Is it the
Yeah,
word or the
what don't
number?
what
But yeah,
don't make
but
sense to
let
me
me say
though
this real
is
quick.
Let her
Let me
get
say
in.
this
Let her
real
get
quick.
in. Let her get
Go
in.
I'm
ahead,
not
mama. Go ahead and rock.
I'm not sure. I've been following Crawford his whole career, and he's an interesting guy. And he seems like a very brilliant mind. The way he played on Spence with his emotions, he didn't say nothing directly to Spence. He let other people do all the talk. But now he's coming straight at Charlo. He knows how emotional Charlo is. He seen
Oh
how
yeah,
Tony
Charlo
Harris did
emotional as a
Charlo.
bitch. You right about
It's
that.
all strategic.
well,
Hey,
if you remember the David Avenesian fight, the the pressure, the lead up to it, Crawford was sitting there playing chess. That's what he was saying. He pulled out the fight and made EJ wait, and everything he do is the chess move, man. He's smart, man. I give him that. He's smart.
hey, you see what he told Gilly about Boots? He said, "You want to see another dead body?"
Yeah,
Hey,
Walker.
that shit was savage, man.
Yeah, it was not. I hear what all y'all are saying. I guess, and I'll say this: that wasn't the same Spence I saw. I tell you that. What was not making sense is he's already banged up from the accident. Why would he agree to be a sitting target for a guy like Crawford? For it just came out they did a little over 700,000 buys. That's not his biggest payday. If he would have beat Crawford, become the first undisputed guy at 47, there's major paydays after that for him. So it just doesn't. Something's
He,
not adding up. Like
No, the
if they were
big
Will,
gonna fix
it's
This
that
is
because
his
fight,
he's
biggest
not
payday.
okay,
if
Will.
they were gonna fix that fight, it wouldn't have been a slaughter like that. They would, play tit for tat,
It'd have been
go
close.
12. It would have been
We don't
close.
know
Not
that.
no, not a slaughter like that.
Yeah, but they know that EJ is finished probably, and Canelo, Jamel gonna be Canelo, and they're gonna thrust him into superstardom. And now
He got to.
you got 12 belts can be on the line with Charlo versus Crawford, and that pressure gonna be off the chain. So
Cause you
I
know
think
Charlo gonna be
Canelo
talking
done.
shit.
Tell him
The
to get his ass
Canelo
towed
done
up.
really. Canelo they feed Canelo to the wolves too now. Believe that.
But why would Spence agree to take a beating like that, coming off
Money
of everything he's done? But that's only 30. I mean, 700,000
only.
buys ain't all that to
Hey,
take a whooping like
I'm gonna
that.
take a Sunday listing dive. I'm out of that bitch by the second round at home.
But let me say this then. Just like I think homeboy said when he got on the panel. You know, some people so loyal to their word, like so old school that when they say shit, they stand on it. You get what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying. Like, why would you even take that fight, man? If you know what I'm saying? But I feel like Earl just so, he just so 100 with himself. He's like, shit, I already said that I'm gonna do it, so I gotta go through it. Even if it is something worse for me or it ain't good, I'd rather go through it, get beat up, and feel like I'm a punk out or I'm a hoe or something. It could just be all type of ways. You know what I mean? And I guess that's what happened. But what I'm saying is that guy that did go up in that ring wasn't the same guy. That's my only thing. If he would have went up in that hole and still being Earl and just got he got beat up still, that's cool. But that nigga that was in that ring, bro, nigga, he was lunging, he was beat work wasn't right, jab wasn't there. What it's just like that bye week. You know how you're a great team, you are better than the next opponent, but you just coming off that bye week. You know what I'm saying? And then the other team, they been playing, they must just came off that win. They still feeling good. So it's just, every dog has his day. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't the same nigga. Bro. I just know that wasn't the same nigga.
Let me
Hey,
get
let me
this
drop
super
a. Let me.
chat.
No,
Let
go
me get
ahead.
the super chat. Thank you, We Ted Shelton. He says, thank you for that $5. Bro. Go to the channel. He said, anything check. He said, everything check out. A healthy Spence dropping Bud with a body shot. He was lighting Bud body up. Huh. Yeah.
Yeah, his
Maybe.
punches ain't have no power though. He couldn't frame him. He couldn't hold him up. He couldn't pin him. He couldn't do like he didn't even put up a fight. If it was a fix, it was overdone. It was overdone, and it just took the
See,
breath out of boxing.
I think when I
Let,
first watched it, right, I knew he wasn't the same. Something was. Even my girl said it. We was watching it together. I'm thinking that you know without him hydrating, that was the biggest surprise for me. I mean,
Mm.
him
I think
not being
everybody was
full in
talking
that
about that.
fight, he looked just
It-
like he did in the weigh-in. Um,
exactly. I said the
and it was
same
just,
thing.
I don't know if that
Mm.
was part of the nutritionist. I don't know what that was about, but I'm thinking if he goes up in weight to 54 and he puts on a little more, a little more muscle, he gets back to his old training regimen. I wouldn't mind seeing them fight only if this has nothing to do with this brain damage shit going around. I don't know what you guys think about that. If it has to do with brain damage, then I really don't want to see him fight again. But if
No,
it's just a matter of him not hydrating properly and not cutting weight properly, then I think 54 would be a good move for him.
but think
This,
about this. Go
let
ahead.
me get this in. This is what I say. I said when you know what works for you and you've been successful at, you don't change it. You don't go to changing shit that you were successful at. When you had Blu-ray and you went on that streak that you was on, you should have stuck with Blu-ray, bro. You don't change shit, bro. That's successful for you. And
He
he
been
just kept
saying that for years.
and I'm trying to tell you, it's like, bro, athletes are most of these athletes are superstitious. They wear the same drawers from high school, same jock strap. You know what I'm saying? You don't change shit that's working for you. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying? So I don't understand why this man kept changing all these strengthening conditioning, not strengthening conditioning. It was his own hubris, man, that killed him in this fight. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that he could just go in there and unless it's compiled with he knew he was going to go in there and have this performance. I just don't know. I'm
I
just
think.
I'm just
Oh, go ahead.
speculating.
Think about this
Nobody,
though. Think
not even
about.
a
Go ahead.
Terrence Crawford fan, would believe that Terrence Crawford could ever look like that. And I don't understand why Spence agreed to come into the fight smaller than Terrence Crawford looked like.
Think about this though. When Spence, like Spence said,
We
he
already
had to
gave him
give
his
up.
credit.
No,
We already
right,
gave him his credit, Billionaire Boss. We already did
but
a whole
but
show for
but
him.
think about this. Think about this, Paul. Spence said he had to give up way more in the negotiation. We don't know if he had to sign a rehydration clause just to get Bud in the ring, because a lot of people say he didn't knock Mikey Garcia out, but the reason he didn't is because Mikey Garcia he made him sign a rehydration clause, so he was weak, and that's how he looked in the fight with Bud. Like
I,
he couldn't rehydrate.
I thought he didn't knock out Mikey because he didn't want
Oh
to.
wait, I mean, was there a rehab? I mean, I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know if it was.
you know,
Now that what y'all
yeah, but
jumped on me for one
That's
time.
the
I'm
no,
like,
no,
part
"Dang."
when he say he
no,
was sitting in the sauna and he wasn't sweating no more.
no. But listen. This was when he was just the IBF. You know, the IBF is a 10-pound rehydration anyway. But Mikey still, he signed it just to get Mikey to fight.
But Mikey came up what 2 weight classes. Why would he want somebody to rehydrate to him off?
Yeah, but
That
I
ain't
get
even
that.
good business.
But that's why he didn't knock him out. He didn't rehydrate. That was part of the
Well,
plan.
well, he didn't do no strengthening conditioning neither. He was bragging about that shit, and this is the mindset that EJ has. He think he's Paul Bunyan, you know what I'm saying? But that only happens in your 20s when you can dog it out like that. You know what I'm saying? When you
Yeah,
get older, your body changes, the physique, everything changes. You can't dog it out. And Mayweather told him that a long time ago that he can't fight like that. You know what I'm saying? When he get older, he gonna have to, you're gonna have to hone everything. You're gonna have to see Mayweather watches everything. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
He studies, he trains, he does everything to give himself the best chance to win the fight. I think Errol, I think his hubris, his ego, you know what I'm saying, thinking as he's Texas tough, that he's still a Clydesdale, when, say all of a sudden you're just a regular horse, you got to do the extra things to get your Clydesdale back on. You know what I'm saying? So, I think he just underestimated Bud Crawford. I think he underestimated him. Thought he could, 50% of me can beat all these guys. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? He had that kind of attitude, and he thought if he did what he did, that was enough to challenge Crawford, who took him seriously, who
And it,
trained who trained
oh,
like a fucking Super Saiyan in the gym to prepare for this fight. You know what I'm saying?
and
You
I'll
know?
say if his team let him do that, they failed him.
Yeah. I mean, that's quite possible. That's quite possible, because everything, all the wheels came off in the ring, and
Where's the epilogue episode?
the what
I
now?
was looking for that too.
Where's the all access epilogue episode?
I don't
They
It
know.
supposed to
might
put
come on
that
this
out this
Saturday. It
weekend.
might come on this
Yeah,
Saturday.
that shit
I
got a
had to,
million
I
views.
had to take a chill pill after this shit. I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? Somebody mute yourself. You got a lot of
Hey,
background noise.
I'm like, man, but if you telling that man mama don't bring her dancing shoes, you gotta make sure your man ready. You gotta slap him and run out to the ring or something, man.
Hmm.
you know that I just really if all that what you just said, Paul, and that was a good take on it, that would explain why that ain't the era y'all used to. But we gotta ask ourselves, that ain't Bud that ain't Bud's fault. Of course, he gonna look spectacular.
Nobody ain't blaming Bud. I
I
wish
didn't say
people
that. I didn't say that.
stop bringing up Bud. We're trying to speculate what the hell was off about EJ. You know, everybody keep bringing Bud into the conversation. He
We
won the
got
shit.
to. That's the one who got
Why?
the curve
Why?
into a
He
pro.
won. He won, bro. You know what I'm saying? We talking about EJ right now. We keeping it about EJ and what might have happened. Yesterday, all we talked about was Bud beating EJ ass. That's all we
Listen,
talked about.
I'm
Y'all ain't
not
got
on
none of
that.
that yet. Mhm.
Half of him can beat Ugas. Ugas was a punching bag. Half of him can beat um, Garcia. Garcia ain't did really nothing at 147. Those two were really lesser opponents. Then who we had? Mikey Garcia after that. I might say the other dude's name wrong. Your boy from Philly. That Garcia too, right?
Yeah,
But
Danny
I'm like,
Garcia.
yo, yeah, Danny Garcia. And I'm not putting, I don't care about. I'm a fan of boxing. I hate when I hear a fan
Boy,
of this
you a
person, fan of
goddamn
that person.
Bud fan. Boy, you a
Man,
Bud fan
listen,
like a motherfucker.
that's who I pick. But I ain't never whenever you ever heard me say something
Boy,
disparaging against Spence.
You got Bud car seats.
Boy, what? Oh man, y'all got the little short skin suit. I really ain't even cook y'all right like I supposed to, but because I feel y'all know y'all in your feelings and y'all sensitive, all y'all call Thomas right now, and I ain't really cooked y'all yet. I'm waiting now. I'm waiting.
But you know
Oh,
you my boy. You know if you were my boy, you know you would have been gone, goddamn.
That's my boy right there, but he know. I don't switch up. I always say I'm a fan of boxing. I'm a fan of the sport, and it's
Right.
all about who you facing, man. You got to understand when you facing somebody that's dangerous, you got to stay dangerous. I'm watching it right now. And the first two rounds when Spence wasn't going in balls to the wall, he was straight. But once they told him after that knockdown to go charge forward, that's when he got himself in trouble. And that was like your team got to be up on that stuff. Like, hey, stay away, get your bearings, pick your shots, not
Mm-hmm.
go straight at him. This man
Mm-hmm.
ready for you. He ready for that. That's what you told him you gonna do the whole time. You can't do exactly what you tell him to do. When that boy
Well, let me
when
ask you this,
Canelo,
Steve. Let me just
hold
ask
on,
you this.
go
Now,
ahead, go
did he
ahead.
look? Did he look like the Errol? I mean, did he look anything like the Errol Spence Jr. of the Ugas fight? Did he look like anything? Tell me the way he fighting. I ain't talking about just the way. I'm talking about did he look anything like Errol Spence Jr. that that you've seen for 29 fights?
From my boxing eye, is gonna be before the knockdown. After the knockdown, he got embarrassed. He wanted to get his lick back, and he started fighting irresponsibly, and that got him hurt. Before that, looking at this, Spence he was pawing that jab. He was circling. He was trying to, he was trying to find his spots. He wasn't just trying to go for that home run. You can't go for that home run on guys like that. He's a counter puncher. He's gonna counter your punch. When Spence got him in that corner and whop, 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 and tried to get out of there, Crawford hit him with a left. Bing! And that was all night. He was catching them coming in and catching them leaving. He was inviting them
Yeah,
to the party
because
and he
he
was
was
taking them
so
out afterwards.
slow. Because he was so slow. His
He
punches
was
were
open.
so telegraphed. He didn't even look like himself before he even threw one punch. Before he even threw one punch, he didn't look like himself.
He looked super slow. Um, he looked like he just wasn't prepared or something. Because go look at my breakdowns, and he did everything I said not to do. He did. He did everything I said not to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a goddamn guy on the outside that love boxing. Why Derek James didn't see this? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Don't go in there ducking. Don't go in there reaching. These are simple things to take out of your boxing game, especially when you're an Olympian, especially when you know boxing. These are small adjustments that you could just make off the fly. You don't even have to be an expert in the ring not to know that you can't lunge at a counterpuncher, bro. He's a better counterpuncher than Ugas and Danny Garcia. He's a better counterpuncher, but you see how he did them when they counterpunch. He got caught some, but he was able to move. He could move his head and all that. In this fight, his head stayed on the line. Even when he was getting hit, his head stayed on the line. I was like, wait a minute. Now, naturally, even if you hit a crash dummy, his head is gonna move. You know what I'm saying? If you keep hitting the motherfucker in the head with a jab, eventually you're gonna learn to move your fucking head. You know what I'm saying? We didn't see the cognitive understanding of what was going on in the ring. Now we know EJ ain't that fucking dumb. You know what I'm saying? In the ring, he does have a high boxing IQ, but for this fight,
Mm-hmm.
seemed like he just didn't have it mentally. Looked like he wasn't focused. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have no power. I don't know. It just seemed like he was unprepared, and that's why everybody was screaming he should take a tune up and shit. And you know what I'm saying? Stay active or took that P Thurman fight or something. You know,
Do
because he didn't look sharp at all. Go ahead.
Do anybody know how many southpaws he had in training camp? Like, was he training against any southpaws?
I don't know.
Because he
I mean,
haven't
that's.
fought
They sit
against
tight.
any in a long time. Neither one of them have. But like,
I mean,
I
I
wanna.
know that had an effect.
it's like they didn't watch no film on this guy. Like
Oh,
you would know not to go in there like that. You know what I'm
look
saying?
at
Just
that
from
Mike
watching this.
Tyson interview. Spence said, I ain't watching that no Crawford. I saw a lot of the fights when they happened. I watched a little bit here and there, but I ain't watching no. I was like, whoa, red flag.
EJ ain't spar at all, man. I don't believe the way he got in there.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm,
but but like my man said, if you're an athlete and you stay out the ring for 400 and something days,
450.
you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be off. You can't just think you're gonna catch up like when you were 20 something. When you were 20 something, you can go out there and hadn't played in a month, and you'll catch up your body and adjust. But
It
when
take
you 30
time.
something, when you 30 something, you know what I'm saying? You can't go out there and think you're just going to be able to, catch a win and get back in the game. And, you facing the best one of the best guy that prepared for you since he was at 140, coming up to
Mm-hmm.
147. He was preparing for you. You was the one goal that he wanted to beat. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to that's why he didn't take no other fights. You know what I'm saying? He only wanted to beat you. So he's studying for you all these years. You know what I'm saying? Just like Tarver did Roy Jones Jr. We didn't see Tarver fight nobody else significant except for Roy Jones Jr. Because
Yep.
that's what he wanted. That was his target. You got a motherfuckers training just for your style. And I'm
Just for
I'm, I'm
you.
like I'm thinking that EJ they already understand that they see Crawford. They train him for Crawford. Where was all that shit? Where was it? You know what I'm saying? It's like they wasn't ready for the counter punching. They wasn't ready for the speed. You know what I'm saying? The time, the speed. They wasn't ready for none of that.
I
You
don't think
understand?
Errol was in shape before camp. I believe he might have been doing damn near a fat camp to get, it was a lot of stuff that they failed there on. And he failed himself. And I think, hopefully in the rematch, hopefully at 154, he can get a lot more comfortable. I don't know what's gonna change in 6 months, man. Like it's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
take him
That's
three to
too.
get over this.
Yeah, that's too soon, man.
Man,
He had to postpone that shit. He'll definitely get an
yeah.
ass whipping if he don't. At 6, yeah, that's too soon because he's still. I mean, he got beat up, bro.
And it's really like
Uh,
four shit. It's August. They talk about December.
that he got to heal, like you say, he got to heal. You got an automatic 3 month suspension. So you can't fight or do nothing. You got to heal up. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to get in there. You got to spar. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting another tune up. Well, that was your tune up. You got tuned up in the fight. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just, man, like right now, man, it's just like I'm so pissed off with EJ, man, and his mindset. And I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but right now, I'm just kind of pissed off with him, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't prepare right. Um, but Crawford get his credit though. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think
I'm
with
kind
this.
of, mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, let me get this super chat. Thank you, Yolanda Dixon, for that $1.49 super stick. I appreciate that. Everything counts. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's big or small. Then I think I got another super. Thank you, Miss T, for that $5 super chat. She said, if EJ beat up Bud, there would be no rematch, let alone a trilogy. She said they gave EJ too much sedative and didn't expect it to go like that. Bud even knew it. Something we missing. I mean, I'm trying to explore it, but we got so many emotions of people going everywhere, and people don't want us to talk about it because they think we're taking credit from Bud if we explore these things. But I don't give a fuck about that. I'm gonna talk about what I want to talk about. So I think it's interesting to see that didn't look like the EJ that we thought we would see. Maybe that's due to Bud Crawford, you know what I'm saying, excellent strategic gamemanship, or just being a superior team, you know what I'm saying, getting him ready for the fight. And maybe it was due to Errol Spence Jr. bravado. We don't know. We don't know. But if he get that rematch, hopefully it's not no brain damage shit. I don't want to believe that shit. I don't want to entertain that shit about no brain damage, because this young man got to live, you know what I'm saying, with his family and stuff after these. I don't think he got but one more fight in him. And if he get beaten this rematch, or if that pops off in this time period and he get hurt even worse, you know what I'm saying, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, it won't be too bad on him. You know what I'm saying? But I'll still be rooting for EJ to win that fight. You know what I'm saying? I still be rooting for my man, you know what I'm saying? Because he's a bad motherfucker. Bud's a bad motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations to Bud, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm talking about my guy right now, because that's who I'm feeling.
Oh man.
What up?
Hey yo, I'm watching it right now because you know I watch fights 100 damn time. That's why I
That's
know
what I
this.
said,
But
billionaire box. He should have took that fight with Thurman to stay active. Go ahead. What you say? What you say, Steve?
when I'm watching it, and it's the round when the doctor hopped in the ring in the corner,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see nothing bothering EJ. I don't see them asking him nothing. I don't see him, doing nothing over the top. But when the doctor hopped in the ring, EJ went to step back, and he almost fell.
Hmm.
He
He looked
almost
like that
fell
walking into the
backing into the
arena.
corner, and I'm like, that doctor saw something. He saw something. Like, you can't take a step back. You're a boxer. You got high level fucking. You should have high level balance. But taking one step back into the corner, he almost tripped up.
Hmm. Let me
Hey,
get
That
Pull,
this
let
super
me
shit
let
chat
just
me
real. Let me get
that's
this super
crazy.
chat real quick. Will, thank you, Will Hunter, for that 4.99 super chat. He says, Errol was out of there physically. He said he's been dehydrated to where I went to the hospital. He said, shit, had my mind out of whack. Hmm. I mean, how could you be dehydrated when he say he drinking a gallon of water every day, though, bro?
He's
I
drinking
don't
a
know.
lot of water.
Yeah, you're drinking a lot of water.
He's drinking a lot of
let me
water in that open camp. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
let me
No,
say
no,
one
no.
because
You go
I'm
ahead.
gonna
You
hop
go.
off, Pull.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just say one thing, Pull. This gets so far. I'm about to hop off, man, and listen to y'all boys
Mm-hmm.
cook. But last thing I'm gonna say is, man, because we learn a lot about boxing from patterns. We watch these fights over and over and over. We learn a lot about life through patterns. If you got a certain friend that come over your house and every time they leave $20 missing, you don't want to think that friend did that shit, but eventually you're gonna think so. So I'm saying that to say this. When it comes to the glove thing, Bud never busted up nobody like that before. And when we look at all the glove scandals in boxing history, right, from Margarito, Tyson Fury, the one with Inoue, even though that wasn't a real scandal, but it was questions about Inoue, Crawford, all of those are either top rank or ex top rank fighters. And then if we go back to the 1980s with Luis Resto and Billy Collins, if any of y'all know about
Oh
that,
yeah, I
guess who
remember
get,
that.
guess who the
Mm-hmm.
promoter was for that? Top rank.
Top rank.
Yep.
Mm.
So the patterns, man. I'm not saying that to convince nobody or nothing. I'm just saying I just want to put that statistic out. All the glove.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he had so much scar tissue from that accident. Man, you saw from the mug shot that I can't really just say, because if someone right, I would say I would think so too. But I really think that has an effect on it. Roy Jones said it too. Like, I ain't never seen nobody's face look like that. It's round five. His face don't look too bad right now. He ain't got scuffed up, so I can't really say you know that is it's crazy. If it was round two or three, I'd be like, hey, something ain't right. He hitting them with some bricks, but it's round five and he looked perfectly fine, without a little swelling and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bet y'all is.
Tell you, but I mean, that snack program is a motherfucker over there. You know what I'm saying?
I was waiting on it. I was waiting.
Yeah, you know I'm coming, man. Goddamn it, yeah, you know I'm coming with that shit, goddamn it. But it's just hard, bro. It's like, god damn, without him, I bet you years from now we'll find out. Like, it'll be 30 years from now, and he'll come out and it'll all come out or whatever. Same with Wilder and Fury. It'll come out.
I really, I gotta say, man, just with these numbers, everything is gonna shine like what the real thing is. That these brothers sold it out. They showed we do buy fights that we want to see. Um, the outcome may not been what some hell. I didn't think it'd have been like this in 100 years. I thought it was gonna be a lot closer for what we normally have. It's a minute left in the fifth, and he's fucked up right now. So, but you know how they like, oh, black people don't buy fight, black don't like this. You know, black versus black don't make no money. Like this made.
I think they said something like 700,000. They say. I thought it would do more though. I thought it would do more. I think he went out. You know what I'm saying? But you know, with that, we're gonna get some last thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Cause this shit be dragging me down, bro. Thinking about this shit, y'all. I don't know about y'all. I'm still fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You want to say something? You want to last thoughts, D-Town? D-Town. D-Town. Steve. I don't know. Steve, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
Okay, finish up, bro. What you were saying? Give me your
Yeah,
last thoughts.
my last thoughts on this. I don't want to see a rematch so soon. I do want to see a rematch because I love motherfuckers fighting. But I just don't want to see one so soon. Hopefully, Errol can get a confidence build to get back get in the woods, start doing some of that that training that you do in the karate movies, and got met your match, and get back in there and show us a stronger showing. And I'm just looking forward to it.
D-Town. D-Town must be barbecuing or some shit. You know. Well, my last thoughts is I don't know what to believe, tell y'all. I just know all I know is that EJ didn't look like itself. Now, I'm just running this stream so we can speculate on some of the things. I know some people out there that think like me, the man was off. I don't know what it is. Nobody's going to take credit from Bud Crawford. I don't know why you're scared of that. The man got the belts. He got the victory. He's got the box wreck. So just people talking about it on YouTube ain't going to hurt that. So, I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? So, he's always going to be the winner of that fight. But as far as, Spence fans, we out here, we heard, we want to talk about the shit, you know what I'm saying? And speculate on what might have happened, you know what I'm saying? So you're not going to shut down that conversation, you know what I'm saying? It's not like we're going to go around YouTube saying, Bud, didn't win the fight. You know what I'm saying? No, we talking about, this is a healing stream for everybody to get out all their grievances, what they saw in the fight. And you got to have that, you know what I'm saying? And so this is full kind of boxing, and I'm going to provide that. I don't care who it is, you know what I'm saying? Congratulations to Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He did what he did, bro. And that's sincere, but we know that Errol Spence Jr. looked different. You know what I'm saying? He didn't look like the Errol Spence Jr. we're used to seeing. And I think that showed in the fight. I think we never seen him get dominated and destroyed like this. Is Bud Crawford a bad motherfucker? Yeah. But he looked worse than some of the worst fighters, you know what I'm saying, that he faced in the ring. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he did better than Sean Porter did better than him against Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Just think about that. Just use some common sense. And if you can't, that's okay too. You know what I'm saying? But don't try to shut us down for thinking what we're thinking. And with that, we're going to wrap it up, and we'll probably come back. I don't know if I come back a little later. I don't know. I'm just up and down with this shit. I'm just so fucking disgusted about the whole. Hey, but I'm gonna put it out there, goddamn it. I ain't trying to hide
I ain't mess
shit.
with you though. I was gonna mess with you, but I was like, I know I didn't like how that ass whooping went. So I ain't gonna kick y'all while you're down. If it was a little closer, though, I'd have gave y'all hell. But
I told you them car seats. You got them Bud Crawford car seats, goddamn it.
yeah, the motherfucker got the little scepter on that bit, the trident, boy, good for catching fish, man. Hey man, but that net though, that was tight. With a net on. I said, oh shit.
All right, I'll probably catch you guys tomorrow. I ain't gonna watch no. I'm just telling you, don't watch no goddamn footage on this shit by other channels, because this shit will have you dragged down into the mud, bro. Almost made me not do this live stream this morning. But we'll see you guys tomorrow. and we'll face the music again and see what we come up with. See what they're talking about. I ain't even watched the show Porter's Way. I ain't even watched that shit, cause
It's hard to watch.
God, you already know, goddamn it, they gonna have motherfuckers on there dancing and shit with Errol Spence Jr. action figures and shit.
Nah, man,
Yeah.
one of them went for him. He told Bud to his face I picked Spence, so he had to eat that crow. He had a
Mm.
big plate of that shit.
And now this motherfucker talking about, well, why the biased media? The biased media. I'm like, get your fucking ass up out of here, fucker. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Who, Porter?
Bud Crawford. Why the media is
Oh,
so biased? Was there bias against me? You know, like
hey man, he let Ellie Setback have it though. I love that. That shit was beautiful.
you didn't even come to my camp. That man ain't want to get Falumaloon, but he wanted you to fold him up and shit, all on the camera and shit. You know what I'm saying? He want all that bullshit going on.
Say he didn't want that.
Bud would have folded him up and shit, and
But would have
guess
did him like
what?
Tank did Butter, how you got there grabbing his ass at the weigh in and shit. Hey man, get the fuck
Yeah,
out
so
there.
but I don't mind people talking their shit though. You know what I'm saying? But
Nah.
we'll be back tomorrow. I'm a good sport. But this was a healing stream for all the EJ fans, and what I'm saying. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with
Namaste.
you. Until the next time, y'all know my boy Steve. He just had to pop in and give it to us. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, y'all.
Yeah.
Mhm.